Good morning, Gearheads. It's Sunday. Football is back, and so is the best pregame show on the gosh darn internet. You think we could go without mentioning football after that game? That's right. Welcome to the Blind Mike Project. Go to blindmike.net for all of Blind Mike's career league stats and game-worn jocks and cups. I can't believe I just said that. On today's show, 2 bears and 1 cave are back, and people are sad. The commercial-free Red Zone channel is now just the Red Zone channel. Cam Patterson joins SNL, Bill Maher and Woody Allen do Boomer Talk. Throw in some Tim Dillon and Tim SODER on Howard Stern, and if you're good, we will continue our Richard Bachman long walk towards the end of all things with the closed caption comedy stylings of G.D. Fenderson. God help us all. And now, here's your host, a man who, after last week's masterful performance on the soundboard, will have to ban himself from his own show, Blind Mike Geary.
Tim SODER. Really got our finger on the pulse here.
Tim SODER, nice. There was another one in there, but
good old Timmy Sodes.
Yeah. I heard he had a famous brother, comedian. It's amazing.
I can't wait to hear about Tim SODER on Howard Stern. That's very exciting.
Might have been my fault. Might have been a misspelling, Mike, and I missed it in quality assurance check because again, 5 in the morning.
It's quite all right. It's always fun to hear what will fuck up in the morning. Sometimes it's me, sometimes it's them.
Mike,
but here we are.
It's amazing. That's the only thing that did. I've been glued to football for 2 weeks. I can't do anything else. I haven't showered.
I understand. Go Ducks.
Yeah. That's all you needed to ever say.
I'm officially at this point in my life. I've reached a significant milestone where we had a storm here in my part of Massachusetts. Very downpoured. Monsoon, for God's sake. Some yards were flooding. And I said, well, the grass certainly needs it. And I feel like that's a big point in my life where I'm genuinely, like, in earnest saying, hey, the grass needs this rain.
This will help.
That's where I am at in life. And Starlink seems to be working, so everything's I'm very pleased with how everything has gone so far. I've made no progress on the wall behind me, as you see.
The roof held up, though. That's the most important thing about a new house with the first rain.
No flooding in the basement. Everything's good so far, so fingers crossed. But yes, we have a big show for you guys today. Very, very excited. People seem to enjoy last week's program, which everyone should apologize to Casey Day, quite frankly. You know, you see now the beauty of what those voices could be, and everyone criticized Casey Day, but he was a trailblazer ahead of his time. You know.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's not who you should be apologizing to, Mike. There's a certain demon that's banned from this show that maybe.
Well, he's still banned. He's still.
Damn it. But doesn't he look different now in this new light of technology that you have?
He does, but that's what happens. He's a martyr, you know. He
I like that.
He had he paid for the sins of the future, or whatever I mean by that.
Oh, so poetic, Mike.
Yeah. Well, here we are. Very exciting and big news. Oh yes, I forgot. I'm terrible at promoting. I haven't mentioned this on any show that I've been on. That Why You Laughing will be back tomorrow. I forgot to mention it anywhere. But make sure, set your calendars, set a reminder. If you're not subscribed to this channel, do it. Subscribe and tap that notification bell so you know the second it drops. Because tomorrow night, Monday night, at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, the first episode of this season, I guess, of Why You Laughing is
doing
back.
Seasons now. Nice.
I guess, yeah, in a way.
Welcome, Mike. Welcome.
If you remember, you got this months ago. I think we uploaded this in June for members. But for the rest of you, you get it tomorrow. It's Sam Hyde versus Tim Heidecker. So make sure you check that out. If you want early access and bonus content, the next 4 episodes after that, I think, are all up for members, as well as bonus episodes we've done over the summer. So if that interests you, become a member on Patreon or YouTube, or just support the show for free. Go to the Why You Laughing page on all podcast platforms. Leave a 5-star review or a like, subscribe, comment right here on YouTube. YouTube broke me, by the way.
What do you mean?
I'm a premium member now.
Oh, finally. Oh, thank God. Now you have the ask button.
I should have been along. Everyone says, like, oh, you're an idiot if you're watching ads on YouTube. I think it's wrong what they're doing. What they're doing, this will lead to our first topic. But
Yes,
what they're doing is criminal. They just bombard you with ads. And what finally got me was I was watching our pal Patrick Melton late last night. And it was literally every 5 minutes was an ad. And I was like, this is just obnoxious. It's no one's fault but YouTube's, but like it's insane the amount of ads they do. And the only reason they do it that frequently, because I don't think they're making that much more money off of doing that, as opposed to putting a bunch of ads in the middle. I think they do it so that you subscribe to premium, and they finally broke me down, those fucks. So good for them. You've won. As often happens. And that leads us to our first topic today with what NFL Red Zone is doing. Because I'm surprised how much I cared about this, but genuinely I was outraged when I heard this. I was like mad because particularly in the last couple of years since the Patriots have sucked, I predominantly watch Red Zone during the day. I like it. I enjoy it for fantasy, but just from a perspective of like, watching around the league, I think they do a very good job. They have a great product, and like any scumbag drug dealers, they know that we're addicts and that we'll pay whatever. So what should happen here, if you haven't heard, if you're watching later today, you're going to see commercials on Red Zone. Oh, well, should we have Scott Hansen tell us with Pat McAfee?
Pat McFraud? Yeah, let's.
Pat McAfee is a scumbag, by the way. Yes. I hate this guy now.
It is worse.
He always seemed like a bit of a phony to me, but I was like, who cares? Like, he's doing something people seem to enjoy. But he had a layer of phoniness to him. Now I hate him. I think he's a scumbag after this clip.
The worst.
You're going to maybe go to the bathroom now. If there is like a little... No bathroom. You still stand in solidarity.
Married to it.
Yeah, I respect
17 years?
Yes. But I don't think anybody's upset about the commercials. I mean, it's an easy thing to kind of tweet about and post about, but I don't think anybody's turning it off because of commercials, and the NFL knows that.
Yes.
And it's like, we can certainly.
What a shill. What a scumbag shill. Like, this fraud who pretends to be for the common man. To not even go, hey, wait a minute, aren't people paying for Red Zone? You know? Like, that's not a thought in his fucking head. People will be fine. Yeah, they'll be fine because they're addicted. They're addicts. And what should happen is, if you're annoyed by this like I am, I should cancel Red Zone. And I probably won't because I'm a coward. And that's how everything got to be this way in this country. If you bitch about insurance and healthcare and all that stuff, it's because we don't make a stink of it. We just go, that sucks, but we have to go along to get along. I was with a couple this week that's engaged to be married, and the girl was telling us that she looked at a venue that she cannot do. Like, she really wanted to have her wedding there. She can't do it because it would be $210,000. And what everyone should do is say, fuck them. We're not going to have our wedding there, because there's even if you can afford that, you should be like, no, that's criminal. Because if I say I'm having a retirement party, that same place would probably be $8,000 or something. You know, like, it's crazy what they do out there for wedding. That should be against the law to gouge people like that. But we all go, well, you have to have a wedding. Well, we have to have Red Zone. So like, we just spread our cheeks and take it.
The way he said it, though, reminded me of, like, Soylent Green, when he's like, no, the people love Soylent Green. And they're like, no, we don't. Like, don't tell us what we like. That's, like, number one rule in this shit.
Let me hear. I sent them out of order by accident. But I will hear Scott Hansen sheepishly tell them what's happening after this. But this is them, like, reacting to it, where Pat McAfee is like, people will love it. Oh, they'll be so happy that they get commercials. And Pat McAfee knows, like the rest of us know. Schefter tweeted out the other day, like, oh, it's going to be, what did he say, like a minute out of 7 hours or something like that? 2 minutes maybe?
4 15-second commercial wraparounds out of 7 hours. Guys, come on. The ball washing here is gross.
We all know what that means, is when maybe as soon as week 2, when we all tolerate it, and you know there's going to be tweets, there's going to be bots tweeting about how, oh, that was actually pretty good. Actually, I didn't mind the commercials. It was actually refreshing. I can get up and go to the bathroom now. There's going to be bullshit like that. And maybe as soon as week 2, it's going to be a minute and a half. And then it's going to be 2 minutes. And then it's going to be 5 minutes. And then it's going to be 15 minutes. And then you're going to miss shit because there's going to be commercials. And it's not even that I care about. What actually annoys me about it is the fact that they don't need to do this. It's not like Red Zone is losing money, to my knowledge. Yeah. I don't believe that NFL Red Zone is losing money. Their budget is just Scott Hansen, and that's set. That's all they have to pay for. Like the NFL has the rights to all these games, so they're not losing money on Red Zone. They're doing it out of greed, and that's what's disgusting. They know they can gouge us. We're already paying for it, and then make more money on top of that. And that's what happened to cable, where the idea of cable was supposed to be like HBO. Like, hey, you pay for it, and there's no commercials. And then every other channel realized, like, oh, we could make more money. Like, we could charge them for cable, but also play ads, you know?
It really feels like an abusive relationship where they're just searching for our boundaries of where we'll break, and then they come back a little bit. So, oh, that would break them. Let's pull it back a little bit. Capitalism.
Let's see this lose. And you know, and it annoyed me with Pat McAfee. For some reason in my algorithm, before this announcement came out, the clip came up. Remember last year when Shane Gillis was on College Game Day giving it to Saban?
Yes.
And he's making fun of Saban paying players, or Alabama paying players. And Pat McAfee, who's this guy who embraces comedy, and he's this wacky wrestling guy, and he worked for Barstool, and he's this zany personality. When Shane makes that joke to Saban, Pat McAfee goes, oh, he runs a respectable program. Like defends Saban for being upset. And it's like, you fucking bitch phony. Like, what a loser. Pat McAfee is who I hate. I don't like the NFL is going to be greedy. I don't even really give a shit about that. Pat McAfee is the one I've lost complete respect for from this clip. I don't know. Now, I understand if you're watching this, you're probably like, why does Mike give this much of a shit? And I don't know the answer. I don't know why this fired me up so much, but boy, did it just infuriate me.
Because for 4 months, every Sunday, we had something. Yeah. We had something that felt like it was a value. And so little things in this life have feelings of value anymore. And they just keep getting taken away from us over and over again. And we had this thing. All the guys would get together, send the wives to the other room, send the skirts off, and we'd have this fun together. Now they're trying to take it away from us.
And it was a perfect product, just like the NFL was a perfect product. And it was like, hey, the NFL was on Sundays, and you get this one special game on Monday night. And then they fucked that up by saying, hey, let's do Thursday night football. Now let's do Friday and Saturday night football. Let's have it every fucking day of the week to make it not special anymore. And that's what they're doing with Red Zone now, too.
Off season, we had our rehearsal. We had our dress rehearsal in week 3 of the preseason. And we are not going to sacrifice any great football for any of the business side of things, right? The business folks are going to handle the business. And we play the hand that's dealt us, but we will not miss a touchdown. We will not say, oh, okay, this is 1st and goal from the 5, but let's, you have
no fucking way of knowing that, by the way. No. That's not true. It will happen eventually, and then people will bitch, and then people like Pat McAfee will go, oh, aren't they being babies out there? And it's like, no, I paid for this product, you assholes.
And by the way, I think we should this isn't ESPN doing this. This is the NFL doing this, knowing they're selling this product to ESPN next year. Like, think how ruthless that is. Like, I'm going to sell you this house, but before I do, we're going to have a year of ragers in it. We're going to totally destroy the product. Here you go.
Well, but couldn't ESPN say, no, we don't want to do that?
I don't think so, because they're only 10% part. They're very minor partners.
Oh, is that right? I didn't realize that.
Okay. Yeah, so they just got a minor stake in it, so they're just along for the ride. And it feels like it's going to get bumpy.
Or pickup trucks.
But do it,
yeah, unless it's
you pick and choose your spots like anything.
Well, if the business people are content creating people, that's when you're in a good spot. I assume over at the NFL, you guys have it figured out. We can't wait for Sunday in.
You assume. You remember CTE? They had that figured out, They figured out over the NFL.
Well, Pat, why don't you let the CEO of ESPN co-host the show with you? It seems like you think they have a lot of great ideas. Why don't you let him on the air? Why don't you let him dictate everything you do? is that? I mean, obviously he does to some degree, but like, do you want them running every aspect of your show? Of course not. But you can paste a smile on your face and go, hey, I think those guys have a lot of great ideas. You know, I think those guys really know what they're doing over there. That's terrific.
Brought to you by Pepsi.
Yeah. But Kirk had a great idea the other day. I don't know why I haven't heard this more. He was like, why doesn't Bud Light or some company that just wants goodwill go, hey, Red Zone, here's $1 billion. Red Zone is presented by Bud Light now. No commercials. And then everyone's like, but you're heroes. We don't care if you like trannies anymore. You're the best, Bud Light. Like, why hasn't a company done that? I don't know
Cracker Barrel, roll in there. Get in there, Cracker Barrel.
Yeah, exactly.
You're just saying that right there. 250 plus days, getting right into their 7 hours of red zone football. I mean, we got the GBs over here, brother. We got the goosebumps. We appreciate the hell out of you. Have a great season. You're the man.
Pat, guys, great to see you. Thanks. Have a great year.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is the Red Zone channel. Scott Hansen.
Fucking loser. And a group of losers, by the way. Doing 1980s Howard Stern. They all clap into the microphone.
Yeah.
Let me hear them announcing it. This is the first clip when Scott Hansen announces that this is happening.
Can you give us a preview of what it's going to sound like on?
Oh no! Oh no!
God.
That's the wrong clip. Electra, are you there? Hey, Electra, if you're there, you want to do super chats real quick? I'll grab that.
If you don't have it, it's not a big deal.
We can do super chats.
Okay, let's do that.
All right. We got one
because there's
from Silent Shape became a member. Thank you so much, Silent Shape.
Thank you.
And from Merch Mouse 199. Hola, thanks for the show. Love you guys.
Talk slower, Electra.
Love you too, Merch.
If you don't
Mouse.
have it, Casey, we can just move on. I've said basically everything I need to say.
I got it.
Okay.
And from Saucepan, IDK what I get with my 150 sub to Patreon.
You're damn right.
What do they get with a $1.50 sub to Patreon?
I don't know. I think I thought we got rid of that tier. I didn't even realize it existed anymore.
Buy by the year, man. The best deal over on Blind Mike Patreon is to get it for the whole year. You get a discount, and then you don't even have to worry about it. You got Mike all year long.
Yes, and there are a bunch of ads after you subscribe. So
sorry about that.
Not really. And I were listening here. Anyone else craving a cold, refreshing Dr. Pepper right now?
It's coming up. The ad with their they have in this next one, Mike. They have a wraparound. That's what you're talking about with Dr. Pepper. So like the Bud Light thing, but on McAfee show with Dr. Pepper. So they know how to do this over it.
Right.
Thank you. Is there any more, Electra, or is that?
That's it.
All right, here we go. Here's the.
You're gonna maybe go to the bathroom now. If there is like a little. No bathroom.
Oh, it's the same thing we just saw.
Is it?
Married to it.
Yeah, I respect
17 years?
Yes.
But I don't think anybody's upset about the commercials.
Yeah. All right, we saw.
What?
Sorry.
They
All
are
right,
the
we'll
same
just move
folks.
on.
Okay.
I've said everything I need to say. Pat McAfee's a scumbag, and fuck him because it's an abomination what they're doing on Red Zone. And then like a sheep, I'll watch it later. So I'm part of the problem.
The slate is amazing today, Mike. I gotta say. So they got us.
Yeah.
I mean, they got us.
All right, I want to move into our regular programming here, our regular topics.
Absolutely. What would you like to go first?
What did I say before? Cam Patterson?
I think we're gonna go SODER on Stern. Tim
okay.
SODER. Time for some Tim SODER, baby.
Tim SODER, yes. Dan SODER had the great John Feidelberg on. John Feidelberg, a good man. Let me sleep in his apartment once. Feidelberg was on with SODER, and they were talking about Howard Stern. And really, I only used this clip in particular. SODER says some interesting things about Stern. But more, I wanted to use it to talk about Howard. We haven't been on since Howard, I guess, tricked everyone. I don't know what the fuck he was doing. Has any more come out about why he didn't do a show on Tuesday? I know there's rumors his cat passed away, his mother was sick. I saw all sorts of things, but I never heard anything concrete.
No more rumors, but I have a feeling that even that was bullshit because like the hype machine, the pre-promotion machine from like the staff on Twitter is in high. Like I'm getting tweets all the time from Baba Booey and JD like watch the show coming up. So that all feels manufactured, man. None of it's real.
Well, if it is manufactured, it's a weird one, and it shows you how out of touch Stern is. That he thinks the people that are excited for that show are like, oh no, his kitty died.
Yeah.
Poor Howard. Howard, take all the time you need, buddy.
It's his first
take as much time to recover as you need.
This is the first contract negotiation without his agent, and it is showing, man. It is.
Well,
he's
great point. Without the great Don Buchwald, yes.
Yeah, he's dead. So this is like Howard trying to do Don Buchwald things, radio things, in a world of podcasting.
And not only that, it's the first time in how many years that anyone is thinking, oh, I got to listen to Stern tomorrow. I mean,
yeah, well,
10, 15?
Mm-hmm.
I would bet the last time, maybe I'm forgetting something, but I would bet the last time anyone like made an appointment to listen to Howard Stern was after that Pelican Brief video, when people were like, oh, maybe he'll address it. And to my memory, he didn't really, right?
No.
He never said anything about that. And I think that's when people started to know, like, oh, it's over. He's not a guy that addresses real things anymore. So for the first time, and this is how crazy things have gotten, Howard Stern is promoting the fact that he's going to address a topic that his fans want to hear him talk about. Like, that's the attention that this is getting. It's like, oh my God, Howard's going to talk about something we're interested in for the first time in over a decade. Can you believe it? So people are very excited. Excited is the wrong word. We're all kind of like, I think if you guys are like me, which I imagine a lot of you in the chat are, I think you're kind of thinking like, oh yeah, I'll listen tomorrow whenever I get a chance, and I'll be curious what he says, but it's probably going to be nothing. Like, I don't think it's going to blow our minds. I think it's going to be him announcing he's re-signed or he's retiring. You know, like, I don't think it's going to be some monumental, he's bashing the company, like Howard's been. It would be great if Howard just came in, like Artie's with him, and he's bashing the company, you know?
And he's wearing a MAGA hat and Artie's with him. He's like, guys, I've seen the light.
I'm back. But I don't think that's going to happen. But this is SODER talking about Howard Stern and his reputation at SiriusXM.
It changed. Where I get annoyed is, as a former employee of SiriusXM, he did fucking nothing to help the future generations. We weren't allowed to play Howard Stern clips. We weren't allowed to talk about Howard Stern. All Big J wanted was acknowledgement from Howard Stern on the bonfire. And one time someone called in Howard Stern and they're like, yeah, what's up, Howard? Blah, blah. Hey, bonfire, crackle, crackle. And he hung up and he goes, crackle, crackle. What the fuck is that shit? And then it's like, and we wanted to play it. And then our bosses were like, you do not play a clip of Howard Stern. Really? And we're like, we're on his thing.
Yeah.
I found that so interesting. So as like an Opie and Anthony fan, that doesn't really surprise you because you knew O&A were never allowed to play his stuff. I kind of always thought that was like an Opie and Anthony thing. Like, fuck those guys. Even if they're talking good about me, I don't want them playing a clip of me. Like, I thought that was just, an old grudge between those two. The idea, like, as SODER said, Big J was like a Howard fan. He was going to be excited just to be like, hey, they talked about our show on Howard Stern. The idea that you're not allowed to do that for within the same walls. It's the same company. And another channel, a popular up-and-coming show, like, more people care when SODER was there, particularly. Maybe not as much now. But when SODER was there, more people cared about the bonfire than the Howard Stern show. That's just a fact. Like, that's when people stopped giving a fuck about Howard, and the bonfire really became the premier comedy show there, because it's after Anthony left O&A, and Stern just stopped giving a fuck. So the bonfire was like the comedy show that people started caring about on that platform. And the idea that they were going to probably speak glowingly of Stern and talk about how funny it was that he didn't know how dismissive he was of their show, like, the idea that they weren't allowed to do that is so crazy. And it speaks to Howard just losing his mind. And to SODER's point, like, I would refute that a little and be like, it's not Howard's job to nurture young talent, you know, and he's not a AAA coach that's trying to help these kids come along. Like, that's not his job. But to go out of your way to set them back I think is gross. Like to purposely try and hinder their show is bullshit, and it's why people stopped giving a fuck about Stern.
And can I say it's also counterintuitive to all the millions of stock that you hold in the company that they are employees of?
Yes,
and also you have two, go ahead.
Go no.
You have two channels to fill with people like SODER. Like what are you talking? Like,
that's what I was going to say. Not just as a businessman, not as a stockholder that's looking at it from that angle. I think if you're looking at your show and caring about your show, say, oh, Big J and SODER are these sort of up and coming guys that I can have on and absorb their fans, like younger people. Like it's amazing to me if you look at the list of comedians that have not been on Howard Stern. Like and maybe I just don't pay attention enough to Stern, but like Gillis, Nate Bargatze, Andrew Schultz, I don't think any of these guys have done Stern's show. And it's with Theo Vaughn. Like, it's amazing to me, this crop of the most prominent comedians that exist right now have not been on Howard's show. And it's because he just kind of went out of his way not to know who they were and be dismissive of them. Like, to not realize the value that they could provide to your show, that would be so much better than having Chelsea Handler and Sarah Silverman in, especially for the audience he already had. If he didn't resent his audience so much, and just said, hey, I don't mind if fucking truck drivers or construction workers listen to me. I'm going to have Shane Gillis on or Tony Hinchcliffe or whoever the fuck. Like, I'm going to have these guys on when they're young, build a relationship with them, and then I get to steal their fans, essentially, all those other people would go listen to Howard and hear Shane on Howard. Like, all the Matt and Shane fans would hear Shane on Howard and maybe be like, oh, this guy's pretty good. I'm going to listen to his other interviews. But Howard stopped thinking like that. And it's amazing to me because he was the master of thinking like that. Like, he's the guy that taught everyone how to do that. And somewhere along the way, it fell out of his brain. He doesn't have it anymore.
Yeah, no, he chose Jackie's joke hunt over Tim SODER. So, hey, good job. Good job.
Tim SODER. Stop calling him that.
I think it'll stick. Hashtag Tim SODER.
So I don't have any sympathy for him.
That was not that I've been to.
I have empathy, but I don't have sympathy. I'm like, I get that the things have changed. That must suck to be in that position. But fuck you.
But dude, not again. You were at Sirius a million times more often than we ever were.
Yeah.
But there was a phase where we were going up there, somewhat regularly, and to a person, there wasn't one person who ever talked to us at Sirius who didn't say Howard Stern's a fucking asshole.
Like, he shuts down. He has a whole wing that you're not allowed to go to.
That's
First
what
off,
people would always say. That like he has an elevator that you don't even see him.
You're not allowed to talk to him.
Not allowed to
see him in the
talk to him,
hallway.
yeah.
You have to get out of the way.
That's insane, dude.
And
How do you end up like that?
I will say
you did
this.
a lot of good stuff. You're not that talented.
I'll say this, just that, remember that story came out about Steve Harvey? That people weren't allowed to look at him. He had this like list of things. This list of rules came out.
Ellen's rules, yes.
Yeah, you couldn't make eye contact with Steve Harvey, whatever. I heard Steve Harvey explain that. And he goes, listen, everyone in this building, he goes, I'm the guy here. It was the Steve Harvey show or Family Feud or wherever it was. He's like, I'm the guy here. And everyone from interns on up wants to talk to me and bend my ear and pitch me ideas and wants FaceTime with me. Because that might lead to other opportunities. I can't be bogged down with every intern that wants to tell me about a script they're writing or run a joke past me. He's like, so you kind of have to just make a blanket rule, like, don't fucking talk to me, Yeah. And when I heard him explain that, I was like, I get it. That I actually understood where he was coming from with that. I think the difference with Howard is he doesn't need a 90-person staff. He needs like 8 people. And those 8 people have been with him for 40 fucking years. There's no reason Howard can't do that show with just, and I'm being a little generous, Robin, Fred, Gary, Richard and Sal, Benji, and maybe 1 or 2 other behind-the-scenes people, like engineers or something. Yeah, I'm sure. I don't really know what he does, but yeah, like that core group of people. Like, Howard could just do the show with them. Instead, he has 70 fucking writers and makeup people and this ridiculous staff because he wants to feel important. And that's the disconnect with Stern, where he didn't need any of that. Like, he could have been the cool guy, the rebel that kind of went against this thing. And it's weird with Howard because he wanted so badly to be Johnny Carson, be Letterman, whatever. Like, he wanted that level of respect. And he couldn't be satisfied with being by far the biggest name to ever do it in radio. Like, I've heard a lot of people talk about, well, who's going to replace Howard? Who in radio could replace Howard right now? That doesn't exist. It's gone. It's done. Really, the only people in radio ever that transcended, like, that became genuine celebrities. And by that, I mean, you could go to any state, more or less, in the country, say their name, and the majority of people would recognize who you're talking about. Even if they're not necessarily a fan, they would know that name. The only names I could think of were Casey Kasem, Rush Limbaugh, and Howard Stern. And to me, like, of those three, Howard has by far the most influence, I think. Am I missing anyone with that? Where it's like genuine celebrities from radio. I could only think of those three, really.
Yeah, maybe like the War of the Worlds guy, if you're going to get technical, you know. Like
Art Bell.
Well, him too.
Oh, no, well, isn't the War of the Worlds guy is Orson Welles, isn't it?
Correct, yeah. He was the original radio guy.
I'm saying did nothing else. I'm saying known from radio.
Did you say Larry King?
No, but Larry King is known for his TV
CNN,
show. Yeah, what I'm saying is I'm saying a guy that's only known for the radio. Where if you told someone they did something else, they'd be like, oh, really? You know? Like, I think I love the movie Private Parts, but I think if you told most people Howard Stern has a movie, they wouldn't really know that. You know?
I'm gonna put Imus up there. What do you think about that one? Imus.
See, I don't think so, because I don't think Imus had that level. Like, his audience obviously knew who he was, and he was very well known, and he had that show on, was it MSNBC or wherever it was?
Yeah,
yeah, but he was simulcast in the morning, and but I wouldn't put Imus on that level where you could go anywhere, say the name Don Imus, and have people know what you're talking about until the nappy-headed hose thing.
Chat's playing now, and they're coming up with some good ones here, Mike. We got Wolfman Jack. What do you think?
No, they're not to that level. No.
Paul Harvey.
So yeah, Paul. These are all like radio celebrities. Okay. I'm saying people that would be like the A guest if they were on the Tonight Show.
Aaron Imholt.
Okay, all right, you got me.
Yes,
yes.
We did it.
Yeah, no, but like even like Paul Harvey, it's like he is known from the radio, but he's not like a name you could go anywhere and talk Paul Harvey. Really, you have to be like a kind of a radio nerd. Maybe I'm thinking more my generation. Maybe he was bigger back in the day, but like I'm thinking if you were a guest on Carson or Leno or Letterman, whatever, they would be the A guest, and it would maybe not even Casey Kasem if I'm going by those rules, you know.
What about sports? What about that Mike and Mike in New York?
But they were really like one market, you know? Okay. Like people know of them elsewhere, but it's really like just New York that people gave a shit about them. I mean, I grew up in Western Mass and I cared about them like because I could get their signal a little bit. But like for the most part, no, it's not that level. Like with sports fans, he's very well known. But
I'm just finding your boundaries here, Mike. I think I got what you're saying.
Oh, put it this way: all the names that they're saying are valid. None of them are bigger than Stern.
Corolla,
not even close. No, not Corolla. Like Corolla's not bigger, and he's known for other things too.
Oh, that's true.
So that's what I mean is like Howard couldn't be content. Bubba the Love Sponge, yeah. Howard couldn't be content with being the biggest guy ever in radio. Like I think Rush Limbaugh was the only name I could come up with that is close, and I don't think it's that close.
I got kind of a deep question for you, Mike. 1,000 years from now, do they look at Howard Stern as a radio guy who did amazing, was the top of his thing, or is it a story about how you can be a genius but lose it and then become like the opposite of a genius in the same field? Because people are going to look at his career as like, this guy was ahead of his time and then something happened and he was far behind everyone else. So I think you could tell a story that's like, who knows what Benedict Arnold did on radio? We know what he did as a trader. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. I think Howard's greatest or what'll be known most for is however you want to look at it. Like if Mark Maron wants someone to blame for Kill Tony and the state that comedy is in right now, I think the guy to blame for that or credit or however you want to view it is Howard Stern. Like, I think Howard, and there are other people, like Dice was a big factor in this, but like that era of like you know, Norman Lear came in and made it so that you could say pregnant on television. You know what I mean? Like, he broke down a lot of barriers. And the guy who left not a single barrier standing was Howard Stern. Like, when Howard came around and got popular, it became, hey, we should be able to say whatever the fuck we want. You know? Like, we can go really crazy. And I think Howard is the guy that opened those floodgates, for better or worse. I think the thing that makes that most obvious is how much Howard regrets that. Like, how much he's distanced himself from that guy. I think he really is embarrassed by doing that. When you look at the blackface videos and all the stuff that people pull up on Howard, I think he's horrified that those exist and he's run from it. So I think that's Howard's legacy, is everything that came out from fucking Limp Bizkit to, like everything that came after Howard that was like so outrageous, like the shit that was going on MTV, like not even just comedy or radio. Like, Howard's a big part of all of that. And like I said, Dice is another big factor, and plenty of other stuff. Just the idea of cable television, HBO, like stuff like that. But I think Howard was a big part of all that. To me, that's what he's best known for.
I don't think Howard gives a fuck about the blackface. I think Jennifer Aniston cares about the blackface, and Howard's got to look across her dinner every night, you know?
Yes, that's a good point. I don't think he really gives a fuck. I think he's embarrassed. That's a better way to say it. He's embarrassed that other people can see that in his orbit.
No.
He sort of set that up for 20 years. He's like, look at all my weirdnesses. And then he turned into like a quote unquote like celebrity. But you told us like all the things to look for 20 years.
He's like, I don't have any weirdnesses. What do you mean? What weirdness?
Yeah. Erase those tapes.
No one is that talented. No one's Saudi Arabian prince talented. Like, you do not look at him. You must look at the ground. If Howard is here, you do not speak to him. You do not bring him up. It's like, dude, Stern could have put over. He just sucks off celebrities that are already made. So no one gives a shit, Howard. You're just a part of a public run that everyone has to do when they have a high-powered publicist. You didn't grow anybody. You didn't go, hey, this Big J guy, super funny.
Yep.
Big fan of mine. Have him come on. Jay should have been on Stern as early as 2016. And I'm saying that as his co-host. Because if the opportunity ever would have came, if they would have gone, hey, we want the bonfire on Stern, you know what that would have done? We would have been young and funny and around him, and we would have been looking for his basically approval.
Right.
And then it would have just grown. And then you'd go, oh, well, Stern, when he doesn't. And then it sets up Sirius to go, well, we got the next guy.
Then there's an heir.
Because there's an heir apparent. Yeah. But there's no heir. So no one gives a fuck. So don't get mad about Alex Cooper. Don't get mad about Joe Rogan. You fucking did this. This is where I'm annoyed. This is the only reason, because I brought it up and I'm like, fuck this. I got a podcast. Yeah. I'll say this. He doesn't count this as broadcasting. His old ass isn't going to listen. Also, I like Howard Stern. I wish he would have done the right thing.
I'd heard it. Obviously, like I said, I'd heard it when I go to Sirius that like he's an asshole. You can't talk to him. But not setting up the company for the future, and the company that you built, the company that will have,
dude, the company that paid you $500 million, the
company that will
probably more than $1 billion,
likely continue to if you continue to build the company.
It's a very self-aware point and Soder's not usually a guy that measures his own dick publicly. Like, he's not calling himself like a young. He's not Tony Hinchcliffe. He doesn't have that type of ego. But like, for him to say like, hey, they had the opportunity to like kind of nurture the young guys coming up and make yourself part of that world, and that's where Opie and Anthony were very smart. Is a lot of people. The reason Opie and Anthony became essentially a bigger show after Anthony got fired is because people would look up Patrice O'Neal clips and Louis C.K. clips and Bill Burr clips and on and on and on, all the comedians they had on. And in the earlier days of YouTube, I mean, even now to a degree, but like in the really early days of YouTube, if you just search for Bill Burr's stuff, the first thing that would come up is his appearances on Opie and Anthony. Same with Louis C.K. and obviously Patrice. But like all these guys that wrote, even like Jim Jeffries and people like that, if you search for their stuff, the first things that would come up were Opie and Anthony clips. And that could have been Howard. And he just lost the most damning thing that I think Howard ever did. Even worse than, like, the Pelican Brief is embarrassing, and it's a a sign of how out of touch he became and everything. But really, I think the worst thing he did was shit all over Ari Shaffir and have this like feud with Ari Shaffir over the idea of podcasting. Like if you never saw that, Casey, do you know what I'm talking about? Do you remember that?
I did, and I'm ashamed because I was a Stern listener at the time.
Yeah.
And I'm like, fuck this Ari Shaffir. I'm in the cult. I'm drinking the Kool-Aid. Who is this guy? He's got a weird head. His head.
I'm sure there were a lot of people like that. They were like, "Oh, Howard said so fuck Ari Shaffir." But Howard was so far off on that, and it made him sound so old to be like, and particularly as I was doing college radio, I think that when that happened, or starting a podcast or whatever it was. And for Howard to say, like, if you're young and you want to get into the business, if you want to get your name out there, you go to Des Moines and you do AM radio. And I was like, I don't think that's how you do it. And so for him to be so out of touch, it was the mark of a guy who had just lost it, and also said fuck you to this group of guys that could have made his show funny and relevant for the next 10 years that he was about to embark on, but he had no interest in that.
SODER made like a point that I hadn't really thought about before. Like, so picture this in like Game of Thrones times. This is like a king who will not have an heir because he'll just want to get rid of all the sons. I want to be king forever. Well, that throws the kingdom in fucking chaos. It's basically a power vacuum because we all know you're going to die. So all these other people come up. It allowed the rise of Joe Rogan and all that. You could make an argument that if Howard Stern would have done what you're describing, there could have been no rise of these other things because there would have been no vacuum. He would have had all the good comedians. He would have been funnier. He would have been more relevant. He would have understood. And what's even sadder is like, so you don't do the comedians. So do your whack packers. He even gave up on his own, tardids. The people that we love for decades. And so he just threw everything out with the bathwater and was like, well, now we'll do celebrities.
That might be, you were asking what Howard's legacy is. His greatest failure might be that he could have made radio cool. Yeah. But I don't think he realized that. He did. He talked about it all the time, how he was the greatest thing in radio. But he could have made radio as respected an art form or whatever you want to call it, as respected a medium as television and movies and music. Like, people would have been as interested in that in their own way. It might have still been a little more niche. But if Howard didn't try and ruin everyone that was competition, like if some guys he embraced, it didn't have to be Opie and Anthony, but shows like that, like if he embraced some of those people, then radio would have been a cooler thing that people respected more. He was always so embarrassed at how people looked at radio, and therefore him. Like, people looked down at radio, as they should. It's a bullshit industry that has been run by morons for many years. But, like, Howard always felt embarrassment by that when he could have changed it. And that's not his responsibility, but he had that power. He wanted a legacy, and he felt it was better to make a legacy of a guy. Oh, yeah, that guy that was on AGT for a little while. Like, that was more important to him than actually being the king of radio. He called himself the king of all media. He didn't realize he had the chance to be an actual king. Not even a chance, he was.
It's Shakespearean. I mean, it's a tragedy. The man who loved radio so much he built it into this beautiful thing. Literally, the vacuum that he created by doing what he did there destroyed it and created all these other things in its wake. Spotify.
So what do we think he does tomorrow? This video will probably drop as he's discussing it. I think he announces that he's re-signing.
I think he's going to re-sign for like a day a week because he has to come up with a way to explain the giant missing money that's going to be. And he's going to be like, well, now it's just a day a week and they get all my tapes. But it's basically Sirius just saying, we want the tapes.
I got to tell you, if that's what he does tomorrow after all this hype, watch Howard tomorrow. Mm-hmm. Today is the day Howard speaks. If he comes on and goes, yeah, I'm doing 1 day a week going forward. It's like, oh, okay. What a disappointment.
Imagine if he had said, and this whole thing would have been, next week, Howard addresses stuttering jaw. like that. The world would have erupted. At least this part of the world would have erupted. And the rest of the world would have been like, what the fuck? Why is he talking to stuttering jaw? Yeah. Everyone would have been like, what? So
Yeah.
you know, he's
If
lost
he's,
his fastball.
I'm funding Carl and Shuli's lawsuit.
Yes, people are like, what's a Shuli? What's a Carl?
Yeah, it really shows. By the way, he's certainly not announcing, like, for all of us looking forward to what it is or interested in it, it's certainly not going to be that he's doing more work. You know, it's not going to be, I'm coming back and I'm going to be better than ever. So I really don't even know what we expect. And nor should, but Howard's fucking 75 or whatever he is. It's not, he shouldn't be now doing 5 days a week and more radio and any of that shit.
He's like Cumia. He picked up a midnight shift on an AM station. He's gonna
I'm taking him down.
Stern followed by Cumia here on 6:40 AM.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, it will be disappointing unless there's something I just haven't thought of yet that he can come up with tomorrow.
No, for sure, giant disappointment. We have some super chats here, Mike. Let's get to these, and then we'll get over to the new Saturday Night Live cast member. Congratulations.
That's right. Yeah.
All right, Electra.
All right. Toucan Sam 199. Steel Toe Begging Show. The better Reddit join now.
We have a new Steel Toe Reddit, and we're doing some advertising on the Blind Mike Show.
Yeah, don't worry. I already ridiculed him in chat.
Yeah, $5.
That's fine.
Come on.
Why ridicule him for what? That's fine.
Yeah. Well, I'm ridiculing him. $5 if you're going to do advertisements.
Yeah, serious.
Go check out that Steel Toe Reddit.
Colostomy Stephen Cant. $4.99. I've been binge re-listening to all the shows since 2023. I miss the HACKRIDE games. Gonna have to sign up for the Patreon.
I tried. He's still banned.
HACKRIDE could. Well, yeah, no, he's.
Oh, he almost went right there. You see that?
Wow.
No, he's banned for life. A ban is a ban. I'm nothing if not my word. Then I'm no better than Howard if I don't hold up my word.
Honestly, it's up to gearheads. If the gearheads push you, Mike, I think it could be done. But they seem to be lackadaisical.
It's up to them.
And Joe from Virginia. Last week, peak BMP. Beggy Monster had me howling.
Thank you, buddy. Yeah, people seem to enjoy it, so I'm glad.
I keep missing the Beggy Monster, and I swear to God, you're doing it to me on purpose. I look at the list. I'm like, 2 bears, 1 cave. Where's that goddamn Beggy Monster?
He lurks. He lurks in the shadows. So maybe he's afraid of you. I don't know.
Ooh, maybe he'll like GD Fenderson. That would be fun.
We'll see. I need something to get me through that segment.
Oh my God, it's so bad. This one is very bad.
Okay.
And Colostomy Stephen Cant. HACKRIDE voice Beggy Monster rules.
It does.
Wow.
It is very funny.
Yeah, well, the HACKRIDE voice only he pops in. I don't really know who that character was.
Mm-hmm.
The HACKRIDE version of the Beggy Monster. He was like a different guy. He was his lackey or something. I don't know.
I think they should be moods of the Beggy Monster. So, like, you meet the goal, you get the happy one. You don't meet the goal, you get the mean one. You know.
That's fair. It makes sense.
It's colors.
You know what? That makes a lot of sense.
It does. It makes a lot of sense. Electra? Yeah.
Oh, Assalamu alaikum.
No, we were just going to sit here for a while. Hey, don't mind us.
I think I butchered that. Sorry. I'm so sorry.
Oh, no. Muslims, we are sorry. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
What she said, alaikum.
That's what I said. Just what you said.
And some more advertising here.
Oh, good.
And another one from Toucan Sam. Steel Toe Begging Show Reddit for all your Aaron news.
Yes, guys, the Blind Mike project isn't going to change. We do have ads from Toucan Sam now. Hey, I don't think you guys will mind that. You know, I think people are actually going to love it. So,
yeah. And
it's only we're going to do a 7-hour show, and it's only 4 15-second commercials for Toucan Sam.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone loves it.
Aaron got the other Reddit taken down, so this is okay. I support this.
Yes, yeah. Well, that's really smart, Aaron. If you want people to stop trolling you, go get the Reddit taken down. I mean, like, listen, I know, like, the Opie and Anthony subreddit got crazy, like, people's names and addresses and shit, like, they were getting really nuts. So I get if it gets to that level, whatever. But that's on Reddit, by the way, to shut that stuff down, not Aaron or anyone else. But like, if it's just a subreddit making fun of you, like, posting unflattering clips of your own show, to try and shut that down is so moronic. And to think like, well, now they'll stop making fun of me.
Yeah.
I've cured it.
He keeps feeding his mogwai after midnight, and he's like, why are these gremlins keep attacking me? Quit feeding.
There will be no problem now. Finally, I've done it. Now they'll say, oh, well, Aaron, we got to tip our cap and go home. We've got nothing left to do.
Steel toe begging show over there on Reddit. Get over there. Not now.
Yes.
Later.
And principled uncertainty. Am I right in thinking someone on BMP once said GD had 4 specials?
Yes.
Please tell me this is not a false memory.
Possibly more. It might have been more,
4.
no?
Yeah. Like, you can count some of his, like, little half-hour things as specials. He probably has 8. But, like, long form, over an hour and a half, 4. At least 4.
Over an hour and a half.
I mean...
What's self-indulgent nonsense?
Oh, you'll hear. It's, oh, my God.
Yeah.
This is brutal today. But before that, we have to give it up for another funny black man. What a second.
Shout out to Cam Patterson. Good for him for getting SNL. I love that Rich Voss posted this clip, and Rich Voss was magnanimous. He only posted a short version. I think this is kind of like an embarrassing clip for Tony Hinchcliffe, and I'll give my people don't quite understand my thoughts on Tony, so I will clear that up because this is the version of Tony I really hate, and it's amazing that he doesn't see it for a guy that's supposed to be kind of aware and observant of people based on what his show format is. It's very funny the way he smashes Rich Voss here. So this is a clip from a few months ago when Voss was on with Adam Ray, and Cam Patterson does a set, and this is what Voss said about Cam.
Absolutely killing it. An unstoppable force. Oh, Rich Voss wants to say one more thing.
Tony does such a disservice. Tony does such a disservice to these comedians. If you want my thoughts on Kill Tony, I don't mind it. Like it can be a fun show at times. A lot of it is dumb and silly, and like sometimes Tony is funny and sometimes he's corny and hack. But and I think that's going to happen when you're doing like quick roast style comedy like that. Like I've always said in podcasting and radio, like I think guys like Norton and Artie are 2 of the fastest guys ever to be on radio. Like the quickness with their comebacks were always amazing. Voss was actually pretty good at it on radio. And now like in podcasting, I think you have guys like Zach Amico and Mark Normand that are stingingly quick, like amazing at that. Tony is like a notch or 2 below those guys. Like sometimes he has some really funny punchlines and they're like surprisingly quick. And sometimes they're just like, oh, really? Like that was even in your brain? Like that corny line? So it's like hit or miss with Tony. Where I think he does comedians a huge disservice is like every time Cam Patterson goes up, a 24-year-old who doesn't have a lot of material, Tony goes, unbelievable. Oh my God, you've killed it again, Cam. You've done every week after week after week. You smash it out of the park. And like Adam Ray did the impression, like making fun of him. That's where I will give Tony credit, is he lets people mock that. But I think it does young comedians like Cam Patterson such a wild disservice. Now, having said that, I also think it's crazy to blame Tony for all the world's ills. There has always been shit like that. If you want to say that Kill Tony is going to ruin society, then you have to explain to me why American Idol didn't, or Star Search. One of the greatest voices ever in comedy, Dave Chappelle, won Star Search. Like Last Comic Standing, high school talent shows. That's essentially what this is. Like that format has existed for a long time. And so to blame Tony for the downfall of society because he lets a guy who shakes tell jokes for a minute every week, or a guy in a wheelchair or whatever, like he sometimes lets retarded people say racist things on his show. Like essentially that format has existed in some form or fashion. You can say it's dumb, it's lazy, it's not for you. That's totally fine. Where I get annoyed with Mark Maron is when he blames society's problems. And even like, I think it's dumb. I think we made fun of it. I think it's idiotic that Tony Hinchcliffe thought he could sway 200,000 votes for Donald Trump. I think it's lame of comedians to even attempt to do that. But do I think it actually worked? Do I think Tony swayed a lot of voters? Do I think he had that much impact on the election? I'll tell you what had more impact on the election, the fact that the other side hasn't learned that blaming his jokes for racism doesn't work. to take Tony's joke out of context and try to say this is why Donald Trump shouldn't be elected. That's what impacted the election, not anything Tony said. So that's what annoys me. But also, there's plenty to criticize, and that's why I played that sketch last week, where it's like there's plenty to mock about Kill Tony, but just Marin's bitterness. And the only reason, by the way, the reason Marin doesn't go after fucking Come Town or shows like that is because he's not jealous of the money they're making. Like, he's jealous of how much Tony Hinchcliffe and Joe Rogan make and how much attention they get. And that's where that comes from. Jeselnik less so. I have more respect for Jeselnik because I think he has better opinion, better takes on it that I have more understanding of and seem less rooted in bitterness. But you do notice, where's Jeselnik been the last 6 months? I haven't heard him talking all this shit. It was only when he had to promote a special. So that's where I don't respect those guys. And I think Tony can easily be mocked. And he does these guys such a disservice. The idea that Cam has had to do material every week and is playing like theaters now and stuff, I think is doing him a tremendous disservice. Anyways, he got SNL. That's very exciting. Let's hear what Rich Voss had to say about young Cam Patterson.
He's got the fucking...
I know how to pick him. He's going to end up on SNL. I guarantee it.
Rich, that's not even a thing anymore, Rich.
He's going to end up on
Rich is
YouTube.
like, I know it when I see it. He's going to end up on Johnny Carson any day now. I swear to God, this guy, we need to get him on Star Search.
He's going to be Star Search.
Oh, I swear to God. I swear to God, when Merv Griffin finds this guy, it's going to be incredible. Oh, I swear to God. Hey, I want to book you at the Last Supper. I swear to God. Hey, you know what? You should perform at the Dinosaur Factory.
Producing Kill Tony? Jesus Christ. All those fucking horns and noises.
That sounds like Blind Mike with his new soundboard.
Tony really had his finger on the pulse, as you can tell. Rich, that's not a thing anymore. I was glad Voss posted that. That was very funny. But it is interesting to me that Cam got SNL. I think Tony went a little far there, saying like, "Oh, it's dead. That's not even a thing anymore. You idiot. Why would Cam want SNL?" I think it's still a thing you want. What's interesting to me is like, is SNL a bigger platform than Kill Tony? I don't know the answer to that right now.
That's a good question.
I genuinely don't. Like, they're doing multiple episodes on Netflix. Every episode gets over 1 million views, sometimes up to 3 or 4 or 5 million. Like, are that many more people watching Saturday Night Live than Kill Tony? Probably not.
And they're more rabid fans too. I would say like Kill Tony fans. I have a friend that likes Kill Tony. He's so annoying with his Kill Tony stuff all the time. I've never run into anyone about Saturday Night Live like that. Like, oh,
what's weird is I don't know if you'd want this as a comedian. Maybe monetarily you would, but what Cam will get now is people that have no idea what he does go, "Oh, Cam Patterson's in town. I'm going to go see his stand-up. That's the guy from SNL." And I don't know if you should desire that as a comedian. Now, what's interesting about Cam being added to the cast is a couple things. First of all, I love that it probably infuriates Mark Maron. I find that very funny. But to me, it's kind of Lorne again apologizing for the Shane Gillis thing. Mm-hmm. Like, that might be you might think that's a stretch, but to me, it's him saying like, "Hey, I should have defended Shane more. This type of comedy obviously has a place." Now, maybe it's also Lawrence looking at Kill Tony and saying, "I want to make money off of that." So there could be something to that too. I don't know. But to me, it's Lorne kind of acknowledging that he fucked up by not defending that group of comedians more than he did back in 2019. Now, what's interesting about Cam is like he seems like a funny guy. He bombs on that show a lot. And even like, I just think Cam is so green. He's like 24, 25 years old. He's very young. And even he made a joke about, he did some joke when Gillis was on. And he was like, "I noticed that when houses burn down, the chimney is still standing. Why don't they make the whole house out of the chimney?" Some joke like that. And Gillis goes, "Hey, Cam, why don't they make the whole plane out of the black box?" And Cam goes, "I know, that's what I'm saying, right?" Like, he didn't get why that was like a hack thing. And I think that's because he's like so young and new to comedy. So I'm interested in, like, he seems like a talented guy. He reminds me a lot of, like, Tracy Morgan, maybe a little like Bernie Mac. Like, I think he has that in him, but I've never, like, those guys seem more talented to me. Like, I don't know. So I could see this going. What's weird about Cam being on that show is people usually say, like, oh, it'll either be great or a disaster. I could see this literally going anyway. I could see him being a phenom on there. I could see him being okay. I could see him being non-existent, like not trying that hard or not getting stuff on and not knowing how to go about it. And I could see it being a train wreck where they try and prop him up and make him the face of SNL and it doesn't go well. So I'll be curious. I'm rooting for Cam. He seems like a nice kid and everything. He seems funny. Like, I like him, but I could see it being disastrous. I could also see it being great. Maybe he'll be a star.
Yeah, SNL comes down more to acting, really. You know, like it's not stand-up comedy. So
that's what's interesting is like seeing him talk. And I know he's gotten some acting work. Maybe he's got chops. I have no idea. I could see Cam like accidentally cursing on there and stuff. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he does not seem like a disciplined live actor. You know, he's not from Second City or the Growlings or any of that shit. So I'll be curious to see. I'll be curious to see how much they use him, how they use him, everything. I'm rooting for him, but like I said, I have no idea how that's going to go. I'm very interested.
No, but it's good on Lauren for giving a nod to a community, like, you know, saying, hey,
and
my bad.
another girl, which by the way, someone suggested I look at her for WATS, which I'll have to. That's not a good sign because I know she's big on TikTok. But that girl was Shane's love interest in Tires this season. Okay. So again, that's where I'm like, I think Lauren's kind of like, hey, sorry about that. I fucked up, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm surprised Lauren didn't write about that in his book. I'm going through his book right now. Not his book, but the
SNL book.
Yeah, the book written on around that time in SNL. And I'm surprised that wasn't more of a subject, Shane getting fired, because I think Lauren wanted to be on the right side of that one and just wasn't, as we're seeing evidence of now.
Mike, you always leave room for a sequel. That's going to be in the sequel of the book.
That's right.
Electra, we have a few things here. We have a membership chat. Here we go.
Oh, yes, we do. Fun OK celebrates 14 months of membership. Is Howie Sternberg on Monday or Tuesday?
Tomorrow, right? It's supposed to be tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow. And then I believe Tuesday thing is, who are these broadcasters are covering it with Carl on Tuesday.
Maybe we usurp them. If there's something big, maybe we go live tomorrow.
Ooh,
beat them to the punch.
Good idea.
Hey, they did that with the Bill Maher stuff. So hey, it's only fair. Get him back.
I know. I didn't listen to Carl. I saw they were covering Bill Maher. I haven't listened yet, although I suspect Carl and I probably have a similar take on how that interview went.
Carl, how dare you? Well, you know we do a show on Sunday. You got to wait a whole week to do your coverage of stuff to see what we cover. Please, thank you.
Give it two weeks if you could.
All right, a few more here, Mike. Yeah, there you go. Oh, sorry, we did that.
By the way, what is hyping a video? Guys, go ahead and hype this video. I've heard people saying they do that. I've seen it come up on certain. What does that do?
Well, Mike, in the culture, hype means to promote.
No, I understand.
Extensively through.
But like, what does it do? Like, so I click hype, what happens to the video?
There's a hype button?
Yeah. Oh, you don't know about this?
No, I've never heard of a hype button.
It's new on YouTube. You can like the video, but you can also hype it.
It identifies as you as a gay man, is what it does. Okay. You hit that button.
No, we want people to hype the show.
Yes, hype the video.
It just sounds. They are just stealing from Steel Toe at this. That's the lawsuit that parents should be worried about. Suing YouTube for just stealing.
Guys, either hit the hype button, or if you don't like the episode, hit seethe. You can seethe the episode as well.
Yeah. Also coming, cope. The cope button will be there soon.
Yeah.
Patrick Ford, 199. Tune into Hot Wieners coming soon. # Wiener Boys.
I'm excited. I'm a big Beanbag Ron guy, so I'm excited for.
Don't know what that means. That's all weird.
It's a great
all the
name
sentences
for a
are
show.
weird, Mike. Just moving on. Here we go.
JB50. Steel Toe subreddit for all your steel toe needs without a paranoid schizo for a mod.
We have it's a different Steel Toe Reddit. We have competing entities, I think, in the chat here, but $10.
Support both. I don't give a shit about either, so support both. I'm sure they're both terrific.
Right now, we like you more, JB50, because you gave 10. Thank you.
And Principled Uncertainty. Steel toe subreddit. We cover the numerous steel toe Reddits.
And it's a Reddit for the Reddits.
I like that. That I would go to. That I would subscribe. A guy that covers both steel toe Reddits.
And Mickey Eld, I'm starting a third competing Reddit with racism.
Oh, congratulations.
Okay, I think, frankly, I think the other two are going to need that. If you're going to cover steel toe, I think you need to allow a little racism.
I think we got the title for the show. Thank you so much. All right, Mike, time for a little Joe Rogan. Tim Dillon.
Oh, yes. I forgot about this, actually. Tim Dillon was on Rogan. He called into Legion of Skanks as well. Tim Dillon has gotten ahead of this, and I think he's done a good job at bracing people for it and getting ahead of it and doing some PR spin a little bit. But I do think you can tell Tim Dillon is even internally searching for reasons to do this Riyadh Comedy Festival. So it's kind of crazy to me. Like, Tim did make me reflect on this a little. And if I am seeking out political coverage, Tim Dillon is a guy I would go to first because I think he's tremendously level-headed on issues. Like, he, plays like an absurd character very often. But like, if you listen to his actual opinions, they're amazingly reasonable. Like, he will, criticize Trump and support Trump and criticize the left and support he does all these things when he sees fit, which I respect. But this Riyadh Comedy Festival is a weird thing to me because you have guys that moralize. You have not just guys, people in general that will kind of talk down to others about politics. And, the guy we just talked about, Tony Hinchcliffe, they'll shame him for doing the Trump rally, whatever, as maybe they should. I do think it's weird that a comedian would do that and want to influence people's votes. But when the money is right, they don't mind making their own statement, even if they don't morally agree with it. So Tim Dillon had an interesting perspective on this because I'm part of the problem with it, where I talked out of my ass a little bit. We talked about that Riyadh Comedy Festival a few weeks ago. I forget the context. I forget why it came up.
We just showed all the list of comedians who had accepted.
And I was kind of like, fuck these phonies. But to be fair, I'm a guy, I've obviously never been to Saudi Arabia. I don't really know anything about it. I read headlines and I hear what people say about it. So I'm also talking out of my ass like a lot of these people that I think Tim is calling out here. So I at least like the way Tim approached this. Now, you have people like Kyle Kalinske watching this clip and losing their minds over it. I think if you're going to do it, this is, I guess, the best way to go about it and just make fun of yourself for doing it.
Mike, you keep letting that beard grow, they're going to just welcome you as a sheik.
I need a trim. I haven't found a barber out here yet, but it's coming.
No.
Yeah.
Not only that, you can go to Muslim countries and yell, "I love bacon." There's no laws against it.
I will be doing it at the Riyadh Comedy Festival very soon. Get your tickets. Get your tickets.
Are you really going to go there?
Of course I am.
Wow.
Why would I not? Or they kill gay people and women?
Rogan's ears are smoking. He's like, I don't know how to answer this. I support Tim. What side am I supposed to be on this issue? Rogan has no fucking idea what to say.
By the way, we've said that about, we say this about every Muslim country is throwing gay people off the roof all the time, by the way. Okay? I obviously don't agree with Saudi Arabian policies on women and things like that.
Yeah.
Is it my business to tell Saudi Arabia how to live? Truly.
How big was the check?
$375,000 for one show.
Nice.
That's not bad.
That's pretty.
The one part of this. Shit. By the way, Tim's one of the lesser names on this show.
Oh my god!
Like, Tim's one of the smaller names. I can't imagine what they paid Burr, Louis, Chappelle. Chappelle has to be $10 million, I would think.
Mike, for $375, I'll help you push.
So this is the thing where Tim has been open about this. Now, I think the rest of this is searching for reasons to feel okay about doing it. Like, the rest of this is where Tim starts to lose me a little bit. But I like the idea. Like, you will not get the rest of these people talking about it. Burr will never address this, I don't think. maybe in 3 years he'll make some joke about it. And then people like me that defend him will get to go like, see, but at the time he's going to avoid it. And I think that's like a cowardly way to go about it. You will not hear Whitney Cummings talk about, well, Whitney's a little crazy. Maybe she will. I don't know. But like the majority of people, like Schultz might talk about it, but people like Aziz and Burr and some of the other names on this list, you will never see address this. And that's why I like Tim being like, that's $375,000. You know? It could pay for a house in a lot of towns in this country.
Pretty good.
That's not bad.
I'll take that.
I'll watch a behanding for that.
Behanding?
Yeah, it's called a behanding. What happens is they cut the hand off the thief.
Yeah.
Here's
Don't
the thing.
steal.
All the people that have yelled at me
Skanks, he called into Legion of Skanks and he said that he and Sebastian Maniscalco would be performing a behanding. Which for that type of money, you got to accept. You know, that's a good gig.
He should bring a lady friend. That's all I'm saying. And just be like, yes, Saudi, this is my lady friend. We sleep in the same
I don't
bed."
think anyone, I think Tim's in the clear. No one looks at this man and thinks he's gay.
That's true. He is.
He's the least gay guy of all time.
Mm-hmm. Goes under the gaydar.
Yes.
For this are also pro letting migrants and refugees into America at very high numbers. Now, the same religion that is supposedly so terrifying that I cannot spend 24 hours in that country is the same religion that all of these migrants and refugees are pretty supportive of that are coming over.
Yeah.
So it feels weird to me that people are getting on a moral high horse and going, it is so dangerous to go to Saudi Arabia for 48 hours. Why? Well, because they do X, Y, and Z. Why do they do that? Well, they're this religion is crazy. I go, okay, but then who's coming into our country? How differently do they feel about all of these things? And then if you poll them, they don't feel that differently.
I think he's searching for reasons to spin it a little bit. Like I think that's kind of a stretch as to why you should go to Saudi Arabia. But I do at least like that Tim is like up front. He's like, I mean, the real reason I'm doing it is they paid me $375,000. You know?
Yeah.
Now, it is interesting to me because I think it ties to the NFL thing we were talking about. Like, Tim will make $375,000 over the next few months at most. Like, if he's just doing gigs and working on his podcast, he's going to make that money. Like, Tim's doing very well. So is it worth it? Like, if you do have these morals, is it worth it to throw those out because it's easier money? Like, because it's one night, you know? And his accommodations will be nice and it'll all be fine. Now, the other version of that is, like, the reason he called into Legion of Skanks is that Big J was moralizing about this. And he was like, I wouldn't do it for $500,000. I forget what number exactly he threw out. And so they set him up, they hooked him up to a lie detector test.
Oh, no.
And they found out he would definitely do it for $250,000. He might do it for as little as $101,000.
Oh, my God. You know how much eyeliner that buys, Mike? I mean,
yes.
Lifetime supply.
It's a lot of nail polish.
Yes.
So, like, it's easy for all of us to say, oh, I would turn down that money. If they said, well, here's the money. I think a lot of us would go.
It's a briefcase.
All right. It's one day. I'll be in and out. You know, hey, they're still going to treat women like that even if I don't go, you know?
Right. Totally. I look at that briefcase and I go, Mexicans.
Yeah.
Like
so
Tim Dillon did.
That's what. Now, here's where Tim is in a different position than a lot of these people. Because I saw Kyle Kalinske getting all mad about this. He's like, I thought I liked Tim Dillon. You know, he's one of those guys. And it's like, Tim has never lied about who he is. You know, you want to look at Bill Burr, talk about like how these CEOs treat people and all this stuff. Someone let Bill know how they treat people in Saudi Arabia. You know, it's if you can believe it, even worse than the guy that got shot in the street for United Healthcare. It's somehow even worse over there in Saudi Arabia. So someone might want to tell Bill that. But Tim has never lied about who he is. Like, this was not. I wasn't when I saw the list. Put it this way: I didn't look at Tim Dillon's name and go, "What? He's going."
Yeah.
But I do listen to Tim Dillon's show and think he might be a guy that says like, oh, well, I'll make $300. I don't need to go to Saudi Arabia. I'll make $375,000 doing other stuff. Like, Tim sells out theaters all over the country. His podcast makes a ton of money. he still has his Patreon, right? Which does very well.
Oh yeah.
Like I imagine he
giving that
makes
up.
that. I imagine he makes that just on Patreon in a couple of months, if not sooner. So I was surprised Tim Dillon did. I think if you're going to do it, that's about the best way to go about it. But it is still a little. It's what's interesting to me is you even hear him reaching for reasons to go and be like, "Hey, people over there, come here," and everyone embraces them. Whatever that excuse was.
That excuse was the most retarded excuse I've ever heard.
He was getting tongue-tied trying to defend himself.
The logic, though, so the immigrants that come here are majority left-leaning, I guess that's what he's saying, and then the left-leaning people support. I don't even understand.
Well, he's saying, hey,
What is he
the disconnect is, he's saying individuals come here and they're representative of that country. But the reason some of them are leaving are because of the rules that are in that country, you know?
Yeah.
I think I get what he's trying to say. It felt a little like a reach, but I like that he's like, and $375,000. That's the main reason, you know?
Tim, don't leave the hotel. I'm just telling you now. Stay there. All right, Mike, we have a super chat that is on this topic, so I wanted to get to it real quick.
Let's hear it.
Voltaire 325. Mike, as a well-known leftist Bilber apologist, you must really be eating crow with him going to Saudi Arabia.
No, I said that's exactly what I said. Is like Bill Bert does all this bitching about all these world issues that he has all these thoughts on, and if you want to be that guy, you should be able to be a guy that can turn down $4 million or whatever they offered him to go there for a night. You know, you think Bill's bringing his African American wife over there? You know what I mean? And walking down the street hand in hand with her, you know? Like, if you want to talk about people that are bigoted or whatever, maybe use that as an opportunity. And by the way, Bert doesn't have to do it publicly. He doesn't have to get on a mic and go, "I turned down money from Saudi Arabia." But if you have all these thoughts, that's where Bill should be criticized. Is like if you're going to do that, if you're going to bash Elon and all these other people, maybe say, "And I'm not going to go to Saudi Arabia." You know, I don't need all that money. I have plenty of it.
Yeah, greed is a funny thing, Mike. But here's the free chat of the day from Michael Dolan. Says he's starting a new one, Mike, for the steel toe thing. He's going to call it "Who Are These Reddits?"
That's a great idea.
It is a great idea.
Yes.
Congratulations, Mike. Free one of the day. All right, Mike. Time for a little Two Bears, One Cave. These guys get invited.
It's amazing. Of all the topics we've talked about today, of all the outrage I've had, this might be the most offensive. I couldn't believe what these guys did when they came back. So last week we played clips of Stavros and Chris DiStefano making fun of the idea that they filled in for Bert and Tom. And usually when you have hosts fill in for you, all the comments are like, "This is dumb. Why did you do this to us? Fuck these guys." When Stavi and DiStefano took over, Chris DiStefano said people were stopping in the street and shaking his hand to thank him for relieving them of listening to Bert and Tom. And Stavi and Chris had a lot of fun with that. It was very well received. People loved it. Even like the people that hate everything, like podcast cringe, like they loved it. They thought it was great. Now, part of that is because they hate Two Bears. I think, like, for example, I just mentioned podcast cringe. When I watch channels like that, I do try and be a little different because often I think they kind of hate everything, you know? And so I try to talk about things I like or go against some of that stuff once in a while. This is a rare case where my guy podcast cringe, I don't even know if he went far enough criticizing Tom and Bert for the slap in the face they gave their audience when they came back. Listen to this lack of energy, lack of caring, and just completely disrespecting their audience. It would have been better if they literally came on, pulled their pants down, and took a shit on the podcast desk and walked away and said, "This is what you got this week." Yes. Let's hear it. This was one of the worst performances when you're trying to, I don't know, win your audience back. They gave it about 3 seconds of being playful and then get into one of the worst pleas to keep an audience or please them.
Welcome to the final episode ever of Two Bears, One Cave. It was a blast while it lasted, And we're here to sign off. We thank Stavi and Chris DiStefano for taking over. We know you enjoy them, and you will continue to enjoy them. Bert, good to see you.
Good to see you.
So that was them. That's them trying to be playful and lean into the joke. Kind of a weak attempt, but hey, you know, they're playing along. Good for them. Let's see where it goes.
Did you watch any other episodes?
I would watch
not, you did not.
I saw parts of it. I didn't.
You
see the whole
don't
thing.
watch any fucking podcasts.
That's true, but I did watch parts of it. I started the first one. I watched about 25 minutes of it, and then I would pick up little parts of the other ones. Yeah.
They're
Did you watch
adorable.
them all?
I watched
Yeah.
everyone.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, no. I watched the clips. I just know they were trashing us, telling them the whole time. I saw
They were great.
Stavi's so fucking funny, man.
They're both.
DiStefano is. I think Chris is fucking hysterical. I think he's one of the funniest guys alive.
I totally agree. They're both just out of this world.
These guys, Stavi and Chris came on their show and shit all over them. Not good natured. It was clear Stavros and Chris don't hate these guys. They're friendly with them. They like them. They were being playful and funny, but like shit all over them and the product that they put out. And they come back. If you want an example that Tom Segura has changed, you don't need to go to the watch store. You don't need to see him with Tommy Baldessari or whatever the guy's name is. You can just look at this clip and listen to this Hollywood Tonight Show type of answer where he's like, those guys are just fantastic. Oh, boy, I really like that. I respect a lot of what they do. I really enjoy them. Like, they're having no fun with it. They're giving this fake answer, even though you can tell it annoyed them that the fans hate them now and loved the fill-ins. But they're giving, there's no life to it. It's just like, oh, those guys they do a lot of great work. Go check out their stuff. They're really excellent.
Charismatic, funny. I mean, they're so entertaining. Like whenever I do a podcast with them or even see them socially, it's always nonstop laughs. They're fantastic.
Did you see Chris on hosting Kimmel?
I did. I watched his monologue. Yeah,
he was great.
Yeah, fantastic.
His monologue was so natural.
Yeah, he's the man, dude. So fucking funny.
Oh man, I really just loved everyone we worked with. The whole crew was really great. We were really a family on set. Like they're no different. Them giving that answer to what Stav and Chris did, it sounded like fucking Jennifer Lawrence on with Seth Meyers. Like these were not comedians talking about this. That's not the part I'm fired up about, by the way. That's the best of it. It goes downhill from there. But it did annoy me, particularly Tom, where Tom gives this like NPR answer where he's like, boy, both guys are really, I mean, they do a lot of great stuff. They're so naturally funny, and that's what I love about them. Like, be comedians about it. They came in and shit on you guys, shit on them, or make fun of yourselves, or do something when everyone called you lifeless for 6 weeks. Oh, these guys don't care about the podcast. But hey, I think this next clip really puts those rumors to bed. They prove how much they care about both the podcast and their audience.
Called quitting, Mike. This next one's called quitting.
No, I'm sure. Surely they mean they're quitting, not caring. They're going to be back with gusto. That's what they're coming back with. They got 6 weeks off, and it rejuvenated them. It gave them new life for the pod.
To rethink it.
Don't you feel, okay, here's the question. The first question is, how did you feel not having a podcast for a month, 2 months?
Fantastic.
It was
amazing. One of the best. It was the best. I would love to never do this again.
It was the greatest feeling I've ever had in my life.
What disrespect to the audience. If you're watching this, which I used to watch or listen to Two Bears early on, and then it got a little stale for me because I got the feeling, and call me crazy, I started to get the feeling that these guys stopped giving a fuck about the podcast. You know, for a while it was like one of them with fill-ins, and like they wouldn't always be there. And when they would record like 6 in a day. So it was just like, let's throw whatever shit at these people. And so then like naturally, I think some of the audience stops caring. It didn't matter to them because they had enough people that they're so big, like they had so much of an audience that they don't care if a few like me leave because the masses are still there. Just, I don't know, regular. It's comfortable to people or whatever. To come back and admit, I hate doing this. And this has been a criticism, even we played a clip from SODER earlier. SODER is guilty of this. Stavros is guilty of it. Even a guy I love like Joe List. They're all guilty of this. They get on podcasts that are very popular and that we support every week, and that a lot of people like pay for their Patreons or buy their merch or like want to support them financially, go to their live shows. And sometimes that's just because they're obsessed with the show. Sometimes it's because they want to support these guys and they really like them. And what these hosts do is get on and say, oh, this is so miserable. I wish I didn't have to do this anymore. Now, what's interesting like you would hear the Come Town guys do this once in a while. They were funnier about it. But it would annoy me that they would be like, oh, this podcast is ruining my life. I wish I could not do it anymore. They were at a time in their lives where like that was their source of income. They were making a lot of money doing it. But like if they stopped doing it, that would be a big financial hit to them. If Tom and Bert stopped doing this podcast, they're fine. They're touring all around the country. They have vodka brands. So what they're saying is, we want to milk you guys for everything you're worth, even though it doesn't really affect our bottom line. Like it wouldn't affect us that much, but we do want more money. The theme of today is greed, if you can tell. Whether it's Howard Stern or Red Zone or Tony or whatever the fuck we've talked about. These people are just greedy and they don't have to do this stuff. But they're saying it's ruining their lives. They're saying they hate doing it. It would better their lives and their family and everything if they stopped doing this. But they want to suck money out of us. So they're continuing to do it. That's such a crazy reason to podcast, particularly when you have other forms of income. Like if you like radio guys, if you were in radio for X amount of years and you've gotten sort of beaten down by the industry and you kind of hate doing it now, but it's like you got to feed your family. I get that. I totally get it. Like that's your source of income. And if the only thing on your resume for 30 years is AM radio, you're not going to get hired a lot of other places, you know? So I understand that. Bert and Tom have other sources of income. If they don't want to do it, they don't have to. Or as they just proved, they can take 6 weeks off, have co-hosts, and probably make more money on the podcast. Like probably more ad revenue came in because those episodes were so popular. So like it is disgusting to hear them talk like this. So many podcasters are guilty of it. And I'll tell you who I give a lot of credit, a guy who was guilty of this and just stopped doing it, Nick Mullen. Nick Mullen was, his brain was made for podcasting. Whatever it is, I've never seen anything like that where it more than anything else, like he's very good at stand-up. He could probably, I know he writes like television, and I'm sure he could write a great movie script, things like that. His brain was built for podcasting, and he didn't like doing it, and he stopped. He's like, all right, I was making a lot of money at this. I'm not enjoying it. I'm walking away. And it's a shame because he was brilliant at it. These guys aren't even that great at it anymore. Like they stopped caring about it, and they're still doing it even though they don't want to. It's gross.
Life to not to you know
shake on it. Okay.
You know, it's so funny. I've never been funnier in my entire life.
Than when you were there?
When I was there, casually funny, just talking to people and making people laugh. And I think because I'm talking so much, I forgot what it's like to be a regular person in conversations with people and be spontaneously funny.
Oh, great. Yeah. So we're getting a completely watered down product that you're not confident in. Thanks, guys. Thank you.
Grab a membership. Make sure you grab a membership.
Yeah.
And my stand-up was so, everything I thought went on stage, it didn't go into a podcast.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. It's great. You should do less podcasts.
Then do it. You're saying this on a podcast. How many times do I have to say that? Whether it's Jeselnik or Marin or now these two idiots, they're like, oh, you know what's really killing everything in our lives and society? It's podcasts. Where are you saying this, you morons? You're on a podcast. I don't get how they don't see that and the hypocrisy in it where it's like, you know what's wrong with everything in our world? It's podcasting. Anyways, guys, today's episode is brought to you by BetterHelp.
Yeah. Trim shaver.
Yeah.
It's playing. They're just looking at it.
Do you know how many podcasts? Do you know how much content I put out?
No. I mean, I have an idea.
3 podcasts.
Yeah.
I mean, we can think about this. 3 podcasts out of 7, three a week out of 7 days.
Yeah, it's a lot.
By the way, that silence, when you said, hey, it's playing, they're just talking, that silence was it was less of a slap in the face to the audience. It was more valuable entertainment than what they're doing right now. Listing how hard you work. This is another thing I hate in podcasting, where the they have, and by the way, these guys work hard. I'm certain of it. Like, you don't get to the point they are in their lives without working hard. So I think they're admirable in that way. They've worked very hard to get where they are. Great. They're talking to people with regular jobs who are listening to this, by the way, to just get through the monotony of everyday life. You know? Just kill the dullness of their desk job or driving in the car or doing laundry or whatever the fuck they're doing to distract themselves from their lives. That's why they're listening to this podcast. And Bert and Tom get on a microphone and go, all right, let me list all the things I do. To a guy who in the summer could be roofing or mowing lawns or doing whatever. Like, you're out in the heat. I'm going to say to that guy, you're not going to believe this. I do 3 podcasts. I do stand-up. I travel, albeit private jets, but it's travel nonetheless. Like, can you believe I do all that? I have meetings. I have meetings with Netflix. I have to determine how much money Netflix is going to give me. Do you know how exhausting that is? And again, it is work, and it is probably exhausting. But to get on a microphone and tell regular workers, whether you have a mindless desk job that you just have to get through, or you're doing physical labor, or you're on the road all day, you're telling that person, you're not going to believe how hard I work. Yeah, listen to my credentials. 3, not 1, not 2, 3 podcasts in a week that I do.
You know, there's 7 days in a week, and 3 of those I'm working.
3 of those I spend an hour farting out content that I just said I put no work into. Like, I don't. He's going to tell you exactly how much work and prep he does for these podcasts that take up so many hours of his life.
Mike, this is one moment where your anger would actually be added to if you could really see what's going on here, because as he's telling you how hard his life is, he's sitting crisscross Indian style with his shoes off.
And by the way,
on $3,000 leather.
I've been to YMH Studios. Like, I've been inside there. It's very cool what Tom has built and everything. And it's disheartening to go there and see that operation and know the guy running it, who has provided platforms for all these podcasters and everything, what he's really saying is like, I just want money. I don't really give a shit about any of this.
It's all for watches.
I'm an artist, but I want to make art in other ways, not the things I'm actually doing and the way I make my money.
I should have been a singer.
Yeah.
30 years into this comedy thing, I've just figured that out.
Yeah, I know. It's time to quit.
Okay.
Yeah, see you guys. Yeah, so they're going to tell you how hard they work. That theme continues.
Doing too much. Here we go.
They really are. And, you know, believe me. Believe you me. I'm sure a guy that has a warehouse job for Amazon that just puts an earbud in so he doesn't hang himself from the ceiling fan because he's working a 15-hour day. I'm sure he's listening thinking, God, how are these two going to keep burning the candles at both ends? To think, Bert does a podcast, goes to a Florida State game and gives a speech before the game, and he does all that while drunk. Oh, this poor guy. How does he handle it?
Oh, my God, I just figured it out why you're mad at Bert.
Why?
Because he gave a speech to a Florida State team that then just beat up on your Texas Longhorns in front of everyone.
No, I'm fine with that.
Oh, people, it all goes back to football.
How do we make this to make us happier? Can I tell you? It was so fun. And then I did one podcast with Jeff Foxworthy.
Yeah.
And I was engaged and I was interested.
Yeah.
And I hadn't done one in 2 months. And I was like, I was present. It's like, it was crazy. It's
crazy. That's crazy to do a podcast and be present. Like, that is such a slap in the face to these people that you're talking to. Bert, you're on the air. You're talking to your audience. You shouldn't let them know that. I appreciate the idea of honesty. And this is another thing that the remnants of Howard Stern, where he told everyone, hey, just be honest. You know, like, be yourself, be honest, talk about your day, talk about your thoughts, talk about dark stuff that no one would really admit. The downside of that is not knowing where to stop and just getting on a microphone and going, yeah, I don't ever try. I don't really care about you people. And I just put out whatever bullshit comes out of my mouth. I'm not even really present. When you hear me on this microphone, on this show, I'm not really here. Physically, I'm here, and you can hear me talking. But mentally, I'm somewhere else. I'm on a comedy stage. I'm at a football game. I'm on Rogan. I'm with Jeff Foxworthy. I'm wherever the fuck else. But I'm certainly not here, and I'm not caring about this.
Yeah, I mean,
there is such thing as doing too much, man.
Buddy, I lived the life where I wanted to prove to everyone I could do everything.
Yeah,
like I literally was like, and I remember.
Can I tell you,
when you said
poor bastard digging up my pool, digging a hole at the end of August, and has to take his shirt off because he's sweating so much. That guy is listening to Bert Kreischer and Tom Segura go, buddy, you just do too much. You do too much. If I walked outside when these fucking guys are working on my house and I was just like, boy, I'll tell you, fellas, I did too much today. I did. Guys,
please do that.
hey, you seem a little. Fine, I guess I'll get you a water if you really need one. But I'm in the middle of telling you something. I had to watch an episode of Quincy today and comment on it. and then I put together some of Drew Carey's best work, and I talked about that for an hour. You know how arduous that was?
Guys, one word, lol suit. Does that mean anything to you?
When you said we need to take time off from Two Bears to do our shows, I was so defiant.
I know.
Because I'm still subscribing to that model of it's got to be released every week. It's got to be released every week. It's got to be released every week, same time. No matter if it's good or not. It doesn't matter if it's good. It's got to be released.
How dare you say that to your audience? It doesn't matter if it's good or not. It doesn't?
A little disrespected. Also explains our work.
Yeah, it explains a lot.
I don't care if it's good. Did it get released? Like that's the mentality I've been at, and I don't know. I am absolutely not Joe Rogan, who can put out amazing podcasts 7 days a week. I mean, he can do. I don't know how he does it.
I'll tell you how he does it. Joe Rogan has built a model. Whatever you think about Joe Rogan, this is absolutely true. I will not accept anyone disagreeing with this. Whatever you think about Joe Rogan, Rogan has built a model where he has guests he's interested in and talks to them about whatever he wants to talk about. You can criticize that. Like I don't think he interviews his guests enough anymore. It's more about what he wants to do. But I'll tell you this. That's why he's able to make his podcast as often as he does and not blow his brains out and not get on a mic and go, oh, I'm doing too much. I hate how much I'm giving you guys. I don't even care if it's good or not. The reason Joe's able to do that is because he does a podcast he's interested in. He doesn't do bullshit that he hates just because they have advertisers every week. And just to keep those advertisers, even if you're shitting out content that you don't believe in and you don't respect.
Do you think that maybe they just all think they have to do it because Joe Rogan does it? Like, we have to.
Yeah, yes. Yeah. That yes, honestly, yeah. Like, that's what's weird is like they Bert particularly, like, looks at Rogan as his daddy and is like, well, Joe's doing it, so I have to do it. Now, here's where I'll give them credit. They're being honest about all this stuff. They're saying, hey, I don't really enjoy this. My life was better without podcasting. Like, that's interesting. Good for them for being honest. The issue I'm taking with it is they're going to put out a podcast next week. This isn't like Tom joked at the beginning. This is not the last episode. They're going to do a podcast next week and the week after that and the week after that and the week after that. And it's going to be horseshit. They're not going to take their own advice and say, well, let's just do 2 a month. You know? They would still make money on this podcast and it would probably be better, as they just said. They would care about it more. They would miss each other and have things to talk about. But instead, because it makes money, not money they need, but money they want, because it makes that money, they're going to keep doing it every week. That's what's like with Tim Dillon. Like, you can talk about all the ills and you can be open about it. And it's like, hey, good for you for being open. You are still doing it, though, which is a little weird. You know, you're talking about how you know it's wrong, which is great, but then you're going against what you just said, which is psychotic.
Greed really is the theme of the day. Now that I'm looking back
It
at
is.
these topics, my God.
It's wild. Yeah.
Yeah. You can never have enough, I guess.
No.
I don't either. He's also just, wired differently.
He's so different.
The business.
He really is. Yeah, so they're talking about Amy Poehler, who, and by the way, Amy Poehler is no less greedy than them. She doesn't need to do a podcast, but she saw it would make money. You know what I mean? But like Amy Poehler doesn't get on the mic and go, this fucking bullshit. All right, Andy Samberg, what do you want? You doing anything? Okay, let's get this over with. Yeah, no, I remember SNL. It's great. Whatever. I was so much happier when I wasn't doing this. Amy Poehler paints a smile on her face and does an interview with someone she likes. It's fun. And I'm not saying she's the greatest interviewer in the world, but like if you like Amy Poehler, you can watch that and get satisfaction out of it. They're talking about Amy Poehler similarly to the way they were talking about Rogan, where they're like, how does she do a podcast every week? I don't understand it.
The Aubrey Plaza interview was pretty good by Poehler.
She's done a few. She was good with Tina Fey. She was good with Martin Short. I haven't watched a ton, but she does do a good job.
They joked about the name of the show because it's like Hanging with Amy Poehler, and the husband died by...
Aubrey Plaza made a joke about that?
Well, no, they kind of just like both walked around it and like they
Oh.
acknowledged it without saying it. It was very like girly and cute. I'm not saying girls aren't funny. They're very
Good
funny.
hang, I think it is. Good hang with Amy Poehler.
Good hang,
Yeah.
exactly. It was very funny. I thought she was very good. Are you a Park and Recs guy?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, that show is fucking amazing.
Particularly the first.
Yeah, the first season you said?
First few seasons.
Oh, with Mark? Oh, you're a Mark guy? What?
No, you're not hearing me. You're very obsessed with the first season. I said the first few seasons. Like the first 4 is what I would go back and watch. The later seasons, it got a little overdone.
Will never be as talented as Amy Poehler in any facility, and yet here she is doing a podcast, and it's good. It's really good. By the way, it's really good.
It's really good.
It's really
Yeah,
good.
I've seen a few.
But what? Why? What are you doing? Make fucking movies. And so what I'm saying is, Amy Poehler
Or
realized.
maybe she wants to do it. Why are you talking her out of? This is what I hate as a guy that loves podcasting. Like the reason I'm doing this is because I liked it. I wanted to get into radio when I was a kid, and when that died, I liked podcasting. And podcasting to me, like any other generation, I would have been miserable in as a blind guy. It would have been very tough for me, I think. I love this because I can have just podcasts in my ears, all like the things I love, I have access to all the time, which I wouldn't have had in any other generation. And that's what drew me to podcasting. Maybe Amy likes the idea of it, or maybe it's just a money grab, but she's enough of a professional to not let us know that. She doesn't have to get on and be so brutally honest that it's disrespectful to the audience. But let's hear more about Bert's philosophy on why Amy's doing so well.
Realizes that the business we're in right now, like making movies and television shows, that's dying. This is the one thriving. She just hasn't. She's the first one to get to the oil rig and going, oh, this is cool. We're living on the ocean. And we've been living on the oil rig for 15 years going, it gets old.
True. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's new to her, so maybe it's exciting and fun to her.
Her podcast
It's so fascinating to watch stand-ups because like all the guys I listed when I said SODER, Stavros, Joe List, these two, like the guys that openly are like, I hate podcasting. It's because they never wanted to get into podcasting. It's just that Carolla and Rogan and Marin and Burr created a model where they could sell tickets because of their podcast. And so that just became a thing that every comedian did. They never had a love for it. And now we're in the generation where you're starting to see the downside of that, where guys are bitter and upset that they have to do it every week and they hate themselves for it. And it's like, good for Marin for getting it. If Marin stopped enjoying doing it, good for him for calling it quits, you know? Like, because as bitter as Marin is, at least it didn't come to this, you know?
It's great.
Yeah, she's really good
but
at
that's
it.
because she's talented and anything she does is going to be
I agree.
amazing.
Yeah, I agree. She's great. She's really good, man.
Do you think?
And maybe she's having fun.
Do you think she
Segura with these
feels?
phony Hollywood answers. Segura was a guy I found. Listen, you don't have to be the same guy your entire career, and good for Segura for making more money. Like, there's a confusion because Segura like shits on the pores. People are like, "Oh, you're just mad that he got rich," It's like, no, Segura was a guy that when I found him had funny bits about his asshole doctor and his a guy whose wallet he found who was a dick to him. Like, he had these funny stories about these characters that he could build on and make fun of. And now he's a guy that just phonily says, "Oh, isn't he a terrific guy? Oh, isn't Amy Poehler great? Isn't she? Aren't Stav and Chris, aren't they tremendous?" And it's like, you're just this phony. Like, have a little fun. Be the guy that we found that shits on things and makes fun of it and has fun. But you found this new world. Like, Tom wanted to be Joe Rogan and be taken seriously as an interviewer. So he started doing these more serious things. I remember when I stopped listening to YMH. It was around the pandemic, maybe before, maybe like 2019, 2018. And they had a guest on that I had never heard of. Your Mom's House did. And I was like, okay, well, I'll find out who this person is. And Your Mom's House will have a fun time making fun of like internet videos that they always do every week. And they did a serious interview with this person that I didn't give a fuck about. And it wasn't that moment that I was like, I'm never listening to this again. But I do remember that as the time where I was like, oh, he wants to be taken seriously. Like, he was a guy that talked about shitting and made fun of retarded people, videos of retarded people, like the moose soup lady or the try it out guy. Like, he made fun of these weird characters. And now, not dissimilar from Stern, he's distancing himself from that because he wants to be taken seriously. And that's what you notice with these canned answers from Segura.
About film and television, the way we feel about podcasting, and we feel about film and television the way she feels about podcasting.
It's perfectly, possible, like.
Do you think Amy Poehler is also miserable? Do you think she also hates what she does? No, maybe not, or maybe. Like, I don't know, but that doesn't mean you have to be that way. You know what I mean? Like, either do some self-reflecting and find what made you love podcasting and get reinvigorated into it, or just stop doing it. Like, those are your options. Or be fucking miserable and keep cashing the check every week. Those are your options, as I see them, I guess. So you can come on the podcast and be like, hey, you fucking assholes, I hate doing this for you, but has it been an hour yet? I always love when guys do that. Like, has it been an hour yet? Like on podcast, where it's like you have a 9-to-5 job and you keep checking the time. And that's what guys like this do. And it's disheartening as a guy who loves podcasting and loved shows like this. Like, I used to enjoy Two Bears, One Cave in Your Mom's House. And it's sad to see what it turned into.
You think there's some raw earth elements in those $200,000 watches? It's like comedy kryptonite, just a chemical that just kills all the fun. Because that's what
I guess. But then you look at a guy like Louis, who is rich and does do some of those things, like will buy a nice watch or whatever. He's the same guy in his stand-up now that he was 20 years ago, and we almost lost him. Like, he started wearing a suit on stage and the glasses and all of that. Mm-hmm. Like, we almost lost Louis, and I think ultimately for his career it might have been a good thing that he was canceled. I'm sure for his personal life it wasn't. But, like, to keep that brain churning out content the way it was, maybe it was a good thing because he wasn't roped into that evil inner circle of Hollywood.
He got too dirty. Tom Segura, we need to get Tom Segura dirty, so he has to, like...
if there's some scandal that knocks him off, then he'll be back, maybe.
All right, we got a few super chats here, and then we'll get to Bill Maher. And
I forgot about that. Yeah. We might not even have time for GD.
Oh, we'll have time for GD.
Good. I was hoping we wouldn't. But
all right. Ooh, a Saudi Rial. 25 Saudi Rials. Electra?
Hey, thanks.
Dr. Hamad says, Blind Mike, come to Riyadh. I'll pick you up at the airport.
I'll do it for 20. Tim does it for 375,000. I'll do it for 20.
Mike, the irony here is you're actually cashing Saudi money here. So you're taking Saudi money too. How dare
Tim,
you?
I'm sorry. I'm no better than you.
That's hilarious. And then you got to say it right, Electra.
And Colostomy Stephen Kent, Boogie should interview Tom Segura.
Well, that'd be great. Boogie, remember Boogie?
Oh,
yeah.
He only shows up when white bosses do wrong, though.
I know.
So,
yeah, I don't know where Boogie has been. I wish he posted more content.
Yeah, he's a gamer, but those are boring.
Yeah. Colostomy Stephen Kent says Electra is mispronouncing my last name. It's my accent.
It's cunt.
Oh, okay.
It's just my accent.
She's doing her a favor.
That's why she's saying can't every time?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah. Not our channel. We're trying to do no harm.
You can say cunt, I think.
No. Yes,
It's my favorite word.
Yeah.
Matt Brigette, Texas, Oregon, and the Chargers all won. How did
Mm-hmm.
UConn do?
Who cares?
Oh, yeah. Florida State beat Alabama, by the way, not Texas.
I know. I corrected that in the chat. I was having a little fun. But the big news here is Bert did a speech and then they beat Alabama. What? What did he say?
He rallied them. You know why? He cared about that speech.
Mike, if you were a betting man right now and had to put any amount of money on it, did the shirt come off for the Florida State players?
Oh, it must have, right?
I don't know, but that's something we must find out.
Yeah, it must have.
Who cares about UConn? Why would you ask about UConn?
Go UConn. No, UConn lost, unfortunately. Go Huskies.
Do they even have a football program? Anyway,
They lost in overtime to Syracuse.
You watched them, but you didn't watch the Ducks on CBS?
I didn't watch them. Yeah.
Okay.
Inside.
All right. Ready for a little boomer on boomer action, Mike?
Yeah, Woody Allen was on with Bill Maher. Bill Maher's been getting big guests. And Woody Allen doesn't do a lot of interviews these days, but he was willing to do Bill Maher. And like I said, I know Carl talked about it earlier in the week. I avoided it because I didn't know what Carl's take would be. So I haven't watched that yet. But I'm guessing maybe it's similar because Bill Maher came off so odd to me where he's doing this thing. I don't know, whatever. I don't know if I'll get shit for this, for my Woody Allen take. But, like, I think Woody Allen is a creep, but I don't think he's a pedophile. Like, there have been multiple investigations into that. There have never been any other allegations. I don't know if I necessarily believe that story, but I'm also open to the idea that I'm wrong about that. What I find weird is, like, I see people online very passionate one way or the other, and none of us know. Like, I don't know why you would get so angry about whether or not Woody Allen is guilty of those crimes, particularly the ones that were talked about in the documentary. The stuff with the wife is very weird. Like, it's weird that she was his adopted daughter or stepdaughter.
Not his adopted daughter.
His adopted stepdaughter,
His
right?
girlfriend's adopted.
Yeah.
So, Mike, I was exactly like you were on this, or not you, but I was like, he might be a Woody Allen weirdo. And then we watched one of his movies because I've been a big fan of his movies for a really long time. Separate the art from the artist, and Electra really changed my mind on it. She did the research, and he's like, "Listen, he is a creep, but he is not what everyone says he is because he waited. He waited, Mike. He waited until she was
right." Like, and the other thing is, like, the people that are outraged by Woody Allen, they think he's a pedophile. Like, they're not. If they believe that, they're not wrong to be like, "Fuck Woody Allen." That's what I found. That's what I found so interesting about this Bill Maher interview, where he refers to it as cancel culture.
That's funny.
And he is way more pissed off for Woody Allen than Woody Allen is for himself. It was very weird to watch. Now, I think Woody comes off pretty decent in this interview, and Bill comes off nuts. It's wacky.
Please tell me Woody at some point does like a fourth wall break and looks at the camera and just kind of like Jim from The Office.
This Bill Maher guy, I don't know. He's awfully passionate about this case.
Oh man, you go back and watch his movies. That was his thing, the fourth wall break. Oh, it's so funny. All right, this one's called The Media.
Yeah, so this is kind of towards the end of the podcast when Bill brings up the scandal around Woody Allen, and like I said, Woody Allen didn't tweet something naughty that lost him gigs. Like, Woody Allen, if you believe he's guilty, you think he molested a child. So if you're outraged by that, you should be. You know, like he wasn't criminally charged or anything. But if you believe that happened, you should be outraged by it. But Bill Maher thinks you're a fucking asshole.
Also have wondrous things in your life. I mean, okay, your parents had a marriage that was out of spite, but the way you describe your marriage, completely idyllic.
It is. It's great. I love that.
Again, hold on. Sun Yi is an adult now, and they've been married for many years.
Decades.
But to to just like never mention anything weird about it and just be like, it's an ideal marriage. It seems, boy, that's really the picture of bliss right there. Like two comedians, Bill Maher can't joke about the idea that it's a little odd. No,
a little rocky start there, huh?
Yeah, it like put it this way: if it was pitched as a sitcom, it's like, so you have this guy, he's 30 years older, he marries his ex-wife's or girlfriend's stepdaughter or adopted daughter. They would be like, well, that might be a little too weird for broadcast television, you know? Maybe go to a streaming service with that.
That's Lifetime. That's Lifetime all over it.
I guess.
Or we. One of those.
Right.
Lucked out completely.
Okay. I mean, you say, you eat every meal together.
Yeah.
I mean, and this has been going on for 30 years, basically.
Since she was married.
Yes.
For about
Since she was this high.
30 years, yeah.
I mean, that's it's a crazy world.
Yeah.
It is amazing, though, the way the media gets stuff very often, not just wrong, but like diametrically wrong. Like, and I know from things they've written about me, when you read about yourself, it's what you say to yourself is, wait, this is the one subject I know really well. Me. I know what I said. I know what I do.
Sure.
So, like, if I'm reading about me and it has no relation to reality, how can I trust what you're saying about anything? Iran, plastics, fucking...
I've asked that question at times in show business.
I'll just pause right there for a second. I agree with what Bill Maher is saying. Again, what the documentary is alleged, and no matter what your opinion is on Woody Allen, what's Mia Farrow's daughter's name? I'm blanking on her name. But the girl that alleged... No. I'm thinking her actual daughter. The one that alleged him of pedophilia. No one thinks she's lying. Like, no matter what you think about the Woody Allen case, you either Dillon Farrow, yes, thank you. You either think Mia Farrow kind of drilled into her head for her own gain that this happened to her. Like, she was basically, brainwashed into thinking that this incident happened. Or you think that Woody Allen is guilty. Those are the two thoughts you have.
Right. But
So
she only accused Woody Allen after he cheated on her with Soon-Yi. So it's just the timing is weird.
Yeah, so no one thinks that Dillon Farrow is lying. They just think she might be the victim of a weird situation in either direction.
Right.
Bill Maher is like, isn't the media just terrible how they get things wrong? And it's like, no, Dillon Farrow did allege these things. Like, she said this happened to her. And like, people just aren't sure exactly of what went down. But Bill Maher is like, isn't it ugly what the media did to you? It's like, no, these people, the Pharaohs did it to him, if anything.
He fake newsed us. It's like, I didn't fake news.
That I would see things that his movie is based on this, or he's doing a book about this.
Or he raped a child. Now Woody's not acknowledging it. He's like, oh yeah, that nasty media. They're like, oh, he bases his characters on himself. And it's like, well, they've said a little worse than that would.
It's completely untrue. And I think to myself, okay, these are trivial things. I'm not doing a movie about that. I didn't get the idea for this movie from that. So
I didn't rape my adopted daughter.
He's got his search Google history set really high. Just the lame stuff comes through.
Going on in when they talk about wars and taxes and the government.
What?
So here's the interesting thing that we're getting into here. Bill Maher is really annoyed at how Woody Allen has been perceived in the media. Woody Allen doesn't even really give a fuck. He's like, when you ask him how the media's perceived him, he's like, I guess they get some things wrong, like where my characters come from. Yeah. It's like, what about all the pedophilia stuff, Wood? Come on. But like Bill Maher is very annoyed.
I've always called Woody Allen like the pre-Larry David. Imagine this same interview with Larry David. He'd be like, yeah, they don't like the Seinfeld work as much as like he wouldn't talk about the pedophilia stuff either. It's very Larry David.
Right.
This one's called Witch Hunt.
Yeah, so this is where Bill tries. He's like, Woody, don't you fucking hate these people? And Woody's like, meh, whatever.
You're a lot calmer than I would be if I had been in your situation with I mean, you say you're disillusioned with liberals. I'll bet. But, you know, like the last 10 pages, you kind of...
New rule. If you rape a child, the media shouldn't cover it, okay?
Finally ride. It's awesome. You kind of... But even then, you know, it's done in such a particular and professional way. It never gets nasty. It sticks to what you can prove, basically. But
yeah, I'm not nasty by nature.
No, but but the disillusion. I mean, look, you did a movie. You again lent yourself out as an actor, which you don't do a lot, for the Blacklist. I mean, the front.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you must have. I know you did notice the sort of recapitulation of the witch hunt. I mean, obviously that was about the witch hunting communists. To then what happened to you? And I mean, I'm hardly been the first one to notice that, you know, the kind of moralizing that we used to hate from the right, you know, the Jerry Falwells of the world. And then it came from the left. I mean, I've had it happen to me.
Again, I got to say,
comedy.
Was the Woody Allen thing a political issue?
No.
Like, again, Woody Allen, I'm sure people disagree with me. I'm sure there are people that'll be very annoyed that I said, from what I've seen, I'm not certain he's guilty of that stuff with Dillon Farrell. There's people that will annoy. I don't know that they're all like lefties. Was it a political thing? Like he was accused of pedophilia.
Yeah. We all remember the big political upheaval over Ike and Tina Turner, right? I mean, what?
Right. This was not like the left going after Daniel Tosh. You know, like this was a different. Unless I'm misremembering something, Bill Maher's trying to make this into a political issue. It was weird.
On a much lesser scale than you, but it is. I find it a bitter pill.
It comes from both sides.
It does.
It comes from the right and the left.
Mostly what happened to you came from the left.
Come on, Woody. You want to smash these liberal pussies, right?
Don't both sides on my show, Woody. Come on, hit those lefty loons.
It's weird how much Woody's like, you know, whatever. And Bill's like, come on, let that anger out.
What a good choice by Woody Allen. PR here, excellent job. You look sane compared to that.
Yes, he comes off as the mild-mannered one, yeah.
You were a victim of over-excesses of the Me Too movement and wokeness and a lot of inconsistencies there. But yeah, I mean...
But I was lucky because, you know, that could be ruinous depending...
I was through you, Woody!
Yes, we need the anger.
No. When everything...
It moved, Mike. It moved.
Happened, I was much older. I had done 45 movies already.
And it was 30 years before the Me Too movement. So, yeah.
Yeah, I don't get... I mean, it did come back. Like, it did pipe back up a little bit. It wasn't even really Me Too, but it was like 10, 15 years ago. It did pop back up again as a story. And then that documentary came out a few years ago. So I guess that's what Bill's referring to. But again, Woody was not really in the Me Too, which, by the way, Ronan Farrow started the Me Too movement. And still, I don't think Woody Allen was that involved in it. That's what's weird about all of this is like they're talking about it without really talking about it. Like he keeps mentioning Me Too and he's like, and your son who hates you like that never comes up for some reason.
I had made enough money so I could retire for life comfortably. I was thinking even I only want to make a few more movies and then I would like to start to write books and plays. And so it happened to me at a time when it was no problem. If it had happened when I was 25...
if you're going to be accused of pedophilia, let it happen later in life, you know? That's what I always say. That's a great motto from Woody, where he's like, really, it couldn't have happened at a better time for me. I got to, you know, I really loved, if you told me I was going to be accused of pedophilia, I'd say, well, I hope it's at age 57, because that is not a young man's game, let me tell you.
Well, it is, though, the irony.
The first wave of it happened.
You know.
First wave of it happened in 1993 when you were first with Sun Yi. That was a giant scandal. But, you know, what people forget maybe is that for years after that, you were golden.
That's not a great... He's like, you know, for years, no one acknowledged the pedophile accusations. For years, we buried our head in the sands.
We don't talk about all the years you weren't a pedophile.
Head in the sands annoys me that I said that, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. Mike, you're getting a little, I think the camera's moving a little bit. You think?
Oh, shit, I'm sorry.
No, you're good. I just was waiting until
go
that way. Perfect. You're done. That's it. You did it. Good job. All right. This next one's called Hurt.
Yeah, and I think you can guess which one of them is hurt by all of this. Oddly, it's not Woody.
But it amused me because it didn't.
That's
you know,
awesome.
it didn't have any as a practical thing. It was not hurtful to me. You know.
Oh, come on. Yes, it was.
Well,
I mean, it
no,
should.
No, it wasn't.
I like Bill Maher going, "Shut up! You shut your mouth right now."
As I'm talking about as a practical matter, you know, I was, as I say, I was in my 80s, and I had made so many movies, and you know, it didn't matter. It didn't hurt me. If I was 30 or 40, it would have been career-ending.
But disillusionment.
But it wasn't. My
come
career
on.
was,
you
know.
Disillusionment is disillusionment at any age. I mean, you must. I know you said in the book you were disillusioned at the justice system. I thought that was fascinating. You said,
that's different.
I was so naive. I thought there was a penalty for perjury.
Yeah, you're shocked because most people don't find themselves in a situation in a courtroom, and you're in a courtroom and people are perjuring themselves one after the other, and you think, well, isn't this against the law?
I will say, if Woody is innocent, like if he didn't do these things, he's remarkably restrained about it all. Like if he didn't molest Dillon Farrow and was dragged through the mud, and I looked at just on Twitter, I was looking for the original. I was going to tweet out the clips, but I couldn't find the ones I wanted on Twitter. But what I did find is a lot of people being like, "Fuck this pedophile! Bill Maher's a scumbag for having him on." And if Woody Allen is not guilty of those things, he is remarkably restrained, and that's a good place to be. And it's funny to hear Bill Maher be like, "Oh, I wish you were so much angrier about this."
Right.
Why are you in such a good place about this? It's a weird thing. It's similar to that Stern thing where Howard has people on, and he's like, "Aren't you bitter about the way your career turned out? Because I'm bitter about the way my career turned out." And the guests are always like, "No, not really."
Almost trying to undo 30 years of therapy in a half-an-hour podcast.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I've made peace with this. No, you sure about that? Sure? You sure?
But you find out that it isn't exactly what you think. That yes, it's against the law technically, but nobody does anything about it. It was a very interesting. I found the whole thing an interesting and amusing experience in many ways.
Got a sense of humor about everything.
A little girl was either molested or brainwashed into thinking she was. Oh, that's good stuff.
Look at all these people lying about me. That's hilarious.
And only because I had already, as I said, done so many movies and had accumulated enough personal financial resources so that I wasn't hurt.
Go ahead.
He sounds like the Saturday Night Live guy, the guy that runs Saturday Night Live.
Lorne Michaels.
Yeah, he has this new kind of accent I haven't heard from Woody Allen in a while.
Oh, interesting.
How old is Woody Allen? He's got to be
89. He'll be 90 this year, I think. Yeah.
It's old man accent, I think. Next one is Bill is shocked.
Bill's outraged by Woody's Woody has handled this very adult. Now, of course, if he's guilty, he's probably just happy he got away with it, I guess. But if he's not, he's handling it remarkably restrained for being dragged through the mud for all those years. And Bill doesn't like that. It irks him.
Yes.
It's sobering.
Right, but fortunately, I was never really in the system because I was never charged.
Of course you were. There were 2 police investigations.
Yes, but I was never charged with anything. I was found.
You were wrong, Woody. Why aren't you mad about this?
Oh, but
You
that
know,
would
it
make
was
me.
found that nothing ever happened
I know,
in both investigations. So I never really suffered as much as you might think. But I will say it was fortunate. It came at a fortunate time in my life because I didn't have to worry about money and I didn't have to worry about making films. I made them and
Well, you were much younger when those 2 police investigations were going on. I would be shitting in my pants if the police were investigating
Didn't
me.
that piss you off, huh? Can we get into that, maybe? For a guy that smokes so much weed, he's very agitated, Bill Maher.
Bill Maher, go get your own charges. Then you can deal with them any way you want. Quit trying to tell someone else how to deal with their shit.
It kind of sounds like Bill Maher wants to be accused of pedophilia so he can be angry about the headlines about it or something.
Yeah, he wants the cancer culture message to be able to spread. You know?
If you're innocent.
Except innocent people sometimes don't get. I mean, humans are making these judgment calls, and we know what we think of humans.
Doesn't that piss you off, Woody? Doesn't that make you fucking mad? Woody's just like, no, not really.
Try to get maybe he bet someone he could get Woody to jump off a bridge or something. Like there's something going on here.
And here's the thing: it doesn't seem like Woody's lying. Like he seems like he's made peace with whatever his life is, like for better or worse. He's at peace with it. And Bill Maher's like, doesn't it make you fucking mad, huh?
Yeah.
Doesn't get you fucking riled up. And Woody's like, no, leave me alone.
Let's remember, this is a man with a piece of young Asian tail at home. So what
young,
has he got to complain about?
58 or something like that.
Well,
now.
compared to him, he's 90.
Yeah,
you know?
yes. Yeah.
He's not bitter, but bitterness is the next.
Well, yeah, Woody, let's see. Woody's not bitter. Who could it be in this clip? Who could this be focused on?
So you have no bitterness toward the people who renounced you? I mean, there are some people who defended you, like Scarlett Johansson and, well, me, but I'm not in movies, Alec Baldwin, all your
they were
ex-lovers. Diane Keaton.
These are people that just made a mistake. I'm not criticizing them.
The renouncers?
They think or thought, whatever the occasion was, that they were doing the right thing, but they were not.
No, they didn't. They're cowards. Are you kidding? Timothy Chalamet. Look,
they're fucking pussies, Woody. Just say it. Like, Woody's in such a good place about it. Again, if he didn't just get away with something. Like, if all these people are wrong about Woody, that's an amazing I actually admire that. Like, that's the angle I'd like to talk to him about, is like, how do you get to that headspace? How do you get past that anger? And Bill's like, nah, they're bitches, man. They're little fucking bitches. You should beat these pussies up.
This is like the before and after for cancel culture therapy. Like,
Yes.
get therapy and you can deal with it like Woody, or you end up like fucking Bill.
Yeah, Bill is on the correct side of the cancel culture war, I think. But he seems angry that like he wasn't really a part of it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
like that people didn't really
charge.
Because he was that guy. Like he had politically incorrect, but like he wanted a real incident that he could fight against. Like he wanted his HBO show canceled or something like that, and he never really had that. And he seems annoyed about it for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
he's a great actor. I'm not trying to pick a fight with him. Not that he would care, but you know. I saw him on his campaign for the Dillon movie, which he was incredible in. But this boy wants an Oscar more than his next breath. He'd throw his mother under the bus, okay? So I can't like quite sit back as well as you can with this equanimity and say, oh,
Woody, this really affects me more than you. You know, I'm sorry if I'm not diplomatic about it, but obviously this impacts my life much more, and I'm riled up.
Woody's like, I'm excited for Dune 3. That's not what you're supposed to say. You're supposed to be mad at it.
Gerwig who renounced you and, oh, I'm so sorry I work with him. Okay, you know, she's a big movie director.
They're making a mistake. They're not. First of all, I've had a good time working with both of them, and they think that they're doing something honorable or helpful, but they're not. They're just, they guessed wrong. They made a wrong decision on that. Someday, maybe they'll realize it. Maybe it will be clear to them for whatever reason. Maybe it never will be. But that's all that they've done is made a mistake.
But it's just, it's so, they're such sheep.
He can't leave it alone. Like, if Woody's telling the truth, that's such an admirable headspace to be in. Be like, understand. He's like, listen, they think they're doing the right thing. They think they think I'm evil, or they're representing some cause, whatever. And that's on them. Maybe one day they'll realize that, maybe not. And Bill's like, but doesn't it fucking make him mad? They're cowards. Woody, they're cowards. Doesn't that upset you? He's like, no, Bill, no. I'm sorry, but I'm not mad at them.
Yeah, Woody is really like taking the high road too, even saying, look, they're wrong, as opposed to saying they made business decisions, they have no morals, and they're just doing this because they're Hollywood scum.
And I'll say this too. It seems like Bill and I kind of agree on what happened with Woody Allen, but like I could be wrong very easily, and so could Bill. Like, Bill doesn't at all entertain the idea that Woody could be guilty. He's just like, he's like, the fucking media, man. Like, Bill doesn't have any idea. And he's just like, doesn't that piss you off that fucking Chalamet bashed you?
The next one's called cancel culture.
Oh, I wonder what Bill's stance on this is.
You're the love interest in your life. With all the craziness and the Kafka-esque nonsense you went through, and I don't defend you because I'm a fan, although I plainly am, although you've also made some turkeys, that's true. But but you could be the worst filmmaker. I defend you because I don't like witch hunts. They're bad for society, they're bad for people, they're wrong, they're immoral. That's why I do it. Not because I'm a fan.
I like Bill's point. I agree with that, and you should do that. But I like Bill being... No one asked him, by the way. We didn't cut out any context where Woody's like, why do you do this, Bill? Why are you so... Why are you such a hero? Bill goes,
Woody's white knight. Good call.
Bill goes, I don't do it for any fanfare, okay? I do it because I'm a hero. That's why I do it. I don't like witch hunts. And Woody's like, all right, man, well, I didn't ask you to, so whatever. Bill's patting himself on the back for this thing that no one else in the room gives a shit about.
The hero we didn't know we needed, Mike.
Yeah.
I'm sure, your persona is much more socially engaged, much more politically engaged. So an issue, you would engage the issue on the merits of the issue.
Yes, and I see a connection between a lot of where the left went that I did not like in recent years and this kind of case, this kind of moralizing, this kind of bullshit, standing apart from the facts, just wanting to look like we're the good people and we shun this person and this person is canceled and that kind of stuff. I don't like it in any of its dimensions. Look, I always say about these cases, if you're not in the room, just don't say to me, I know. You don't know. I don't know about you. Nobody knows except you. I would just say that of all those kind of cases, the preponderance of evidence on the one side makes it just very unlikely that you were guilty of this. It just, none of it makes sense.
You know, I want to
Hold on, Bill, I agree, but you're kind of acting like you know. You're kind of,
no one can know.
You're kind of talking to a guy who was accused of pedophilia and going, "Oh, it's bullshit what they did to you, man." Like, what if you're wrong? You didn't entertain that idea?
He goes, "No one can ever know." But you know how you know that you were totally wrong there? Oh, my God.
Another point on what you were saying a moment ago, there's a difference between the Me Too movement and cancel culture. I mean, the Me Too movement, for whatever value it had in terms of advancing women's rights, is a valuable thing.
This is what I thought was really interesting, where Woody's like, Bill, the Me Too movement had some value. It did some good things. Like the movement that went after Woody, he's like, it had its pros. And Bill's like, no, it's bullshit, man.
You know, Bill, there's some scumbags out there. It's
so crazy to me that Woody's the one saying this to him.
Culture is a totally different phenomenon. It may be related to it, it may have been utilized by it, or by various, it's been utilized by various people. Cancel culture is a pernicious thing, and it's quite a bad thing. But in terms of, I always feel if you're going to be canceled by a culture, this is the culture to be canceled by.
Yes.
And he kind of got shit for that comment, but he's like, I won't be stoned in the street, or I won't be beheaded or something. Like, I get what he's trying to say. He's like, hey, and that's again an interesting perspective, and I would have liked to hear more about that. The idea that he's like, hey, if you're gonna be attacked or witch hunted or whatever, this would be the place to do it, and I've made peace with that, whatever. And instead of getting an interview on how he got into that headspace, Bill was just like, nah, you're not thinking about it right, man. You should be fucking pissed. And we never get to hear how Woody got to that point in his life, or any questions about the possibility that he did do it. It was the craziest way to conduct this interview. It's not what I was expecting, but I think Woody comes off a lot better than Bill in the interview.
This from Siver Swine. The same thing with me. All this Bill Maher and no Kyle Dunnigan clip. All I hear now when I hear Bill Maher is Kyle Dunnigan. Like,
he does an amazing. And the craziest part of that is that Bill Maher says it's a shitty impression.
Hates him. Yeah, and hates Kyle Dunnigan. It makes no sense.
It's a perfect impression. Like, I've come across clips on Instagram where I'm not certain. Like, it takes till I get to the punchline or something that I know it's not Bill.
Yeah, really amazing. Mike, look at all this time we have left.
I was worried about that. I tried to kill. I repeated a lot of my points with Woody Allen, if you notice, because I was trying to kill time just to avoid GD Fenderson. But I figured we had to talk about GD again this week because some interesting stuff.
There we go.
Interesting stuff happened with GD. Casey knows a little of this.
Mm-hmm.
I got a message from Mind Dog the other day. Our buddy Mind Dog. Which I don't even want to mention him because it seems like now he's just messaging me, so we talk about him, I guess. Mm-hmm. That's a little annoying. Like, I don't really love that attitude. But he's messaging me, and he's like, I guess last time we talked about GD Fenderson, I said something like, I go, all right, what is this worthless asshole up to? And Mind Dog messaged me about that and was like, hey, man, the jokes are fine, but that's my friend. I was like, shut the fuck up. I was like, okay, all right, whatever. Like, I think he's trying to be a nice guy and everything. I think he wants to be talked about on the show. Go subscribe to Mind Dog or whatever. Coffee with the Dog. Or don't. I don't give a shit. But if you want to, feel free. But like, he's messaging me about GD, and then GD emails me, and he goes, hey, I'd still love to have you on the show he does. Fuck. I can't remember the name of it. What done way past funny, I think, right?
That's right.
The interview show that he does, the one we found with him interviewing our friend Tom Myers. He asked me if I wanted to be on that show, and I said I have no interest in doing his show. If he wants to come on this show and address whatever he wants to address with me, if he wants to, like, he asked me to come on the show, and then I was like, if you want to do that, you can do it on this show. It does me no value to go on his show with 4 views or whatever the fuck it gets. So I was like, we could do it here. And he goes, well, there's nothing to address. And I'm like, okay, then what are we doing? But I said, if you want, I didn't want to deal with him, so I just gave him Casey's information.
Thanks.
I was like, you can. Now, what's interesting is he says to me, he goes, there's nothing to address. Why would I address anything? And then he messages Casey immediately. Immediately. You messaged me right after he messaged me. And he says to Casey, what did he say to you? Like, hey, I want to get booked on the show.
He says, yeah, I couldn't understand if he was wanting to come on our show or Blind Mike, because he would talk to you, I think. But I am available and willing to come on your show if you think your audience would be interested in having me on.
That's psychotic to do after he said he had no interest in coming on the show. I was like, hey, come on the show. And he goes, there's nothing to address on your show.
That's why I was thinking maybe
these guys are fucking exhausting to deal with. So they're making me not want to finish this special.
Oh, we got to.
But that would be a disservice to you people. I have to soldier. I can't be like the Two Bears guys. I have to give you people what you want. And I know you're dying to finish this special. So Well, we're gonna try.
All right,
We're gonna
Mike,
try and get through this here.
Mike, I still think there's a redemption arc out there for GD. We just haven't hit on it yet. Let some time go by.
Here's the thing: we saw the real guy,
Mm-hmm.
and the real guy is shitting on me after the fact, and now pretending he didn't, and go like, "Oh no, they're wrong. They're lying about me." I've watched the clips. I'm not making it up. It does me no good to have a feud with GD Fenderson. Believe me, no one gives a fuck that I'm beefing with GD Fenderson. I have no reason to make it up. I watched the clips. I played the clips. I tweeted them out. There were more that we didn't play. So there's plenty to go through there. Maybe they should go back and watch their own words. But I have no interest in doing this thing where they're like, no, we actually didn't say that.
It's hurting Tom Myers' heart, Mike. That's all I'm saying.
I know. Tom Myers is a friend of mine. I hate to do this.
That's right. But let's get back to the thing that matters, and that's the comedy special. So we're going a little football here. Going to go GD by the numbers. So far, Mike, we have watched 1 hour and 40 minutes of this 2 hour.
Oh my God, really?
Special. So we have 28 minutes left. That means we're 78.125% through the special. Now, Mike, there are 32 more closed caption jokes coming, which means we've had 114 over a total of 152 closed caption jokes. This was not an accident. This was 152. 152. That's a joke every 1 point.
Does that mean you watched the whole thing to get that?
I may have done some studying on this. I needed to know.
Oh, you poor guy.
I needed to know. There was
All right, where did we leave off?
We left off with his family. And so we're going to leave off right where you couldn't take it anymore. And everyone, let's enjoy. And help us in the chat.
We need you guys for this segment more. We don't go to the chat a ton on this show, but we need you for these. I need you to keep me motivated because these are tough to get through.
And as before, Mike, when you hear the ding, that means the written joke, and Electra will be reading that. That is a new twist. So, Electra, you ready? Here we go.
I am. And I have a theory on his jokes, by the way.
She does. It's a good theory, Mike. You should hear it.
So, on Wheel of Fortune, when they do the before and after puzzles, so to be like social butterfly effect. It's like two phrases that are fused together with one word shared by the two phrases. I think that might be what he's doing with his captions.
Right. Okay.
Trying to, at least. Yeah. Maybe. It's just a theory.
But they're not. Are they punchlines ever? Are they like fun? I'm not too. When you said, "Do you know this thing on Wheel of Fortune?" I said yes, just to move the conversation.
Oh, okay.
I don't. I don't know Wheel of Fortune. When they put those up, are people like laying in the aisles and slamming Are they going nuts?
No.
Okay.
They're not really funny at all. They're just two phrases that are fused together with one word. Yeah. So Okay. I don't know. Another example would be like paper trail mix. So paper trail and trail mix, they're kind of stupid. But I think that's what I don't know. Maybe that's his idea of funny.
All right.
We've done so much study on this, Mike. We're going to start a school.
Yeah, it's important work that we're all doing. So I appreciate you guys being with me on this.
Okay.
All right. It comes in fast. Here we go, folks.
Speaking of crazy, my wife and I used to live in Florida. And I kind of miss Florida.
For anyone new here, sorry, go back a little bit. I don't mean to step on. I don't mean to step on his powerful words. For anyone new here that hasn't been with us the whole time, that crinkling you hear, we've deduced to be his hair.
We don't know what it is now. We're honestly.
I've never heard hair make that noise. Braids.
No, neither have I. Everyone has said it's something in his hair making that noise.
I don't see anything like beads or anything in his hair.
Neither. Okay, I didn't think so either, but that's what everyone said. So I thought maybe there were beads or something.
I think he's walking around in like a trash bag or something.
So we've gone backwards.
Maybe
what
he's
is the
wearing
noise?
A diaper. I don't know.
I thought we knew what the noise was.
People, we're gonna need help. Help. We did an examination, Mike. We tore this down piece by piece, bolt by bolt. It was not his hair. We don't know what it is.
Well, so it only started making this noise in the second hour. The first noise didn't have the crinkling. I don't know what that means, but.
Huh.
All right, so if his wife's crazy, they're from a place.
In Florida.
From Florida, yeah.
And I kind of miss Florida. I miss the warm weather. I miss the beautiful beaches. But most of all, I miss the news. See, up here, local news. What? There's a man in
He's gonna do a
Philadelphia.
Florida man bit, huh? That's exciting. I've never heard one of those before.
His whole show appears to be him reading the newspaper and then just writing stories.
He's like
about
Mort Saul.
Yes.
Yeah.
And, I don't know, gang, if you've heard this. If you search Florida man, you're gonna get some wacky stuff, and I can only imagine what GD's come up with on that premise.
Well, last week was bestiality, or last time was bestiality. You remember? That was fun.
That's true. It was a guy fucking an alligator or something in the last joke. So
Yes.
Robbing a store, wearing an orange pumpkin head. Trump has an alibi. Don't worry, it's not him.
nice. Orange man
Or-
bad, guys.
He robs us, not banks.
Damn. That's a joke. I'll give him that one. I understand it. It's a joke. I get it. I'm not saying it's funny, but I get it.
152 of these he did. I'm just saying.
This was
Maryland.
2016, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
How did Trump rob us in 2016?
I don't know.
I don't think he'd taken office yet, but
Is he psychic?
Now legalized pot. So people are learning the metric system so they can figure out what 10 grams are. But see, in Florida, our news was like a game show. Some nights, it was Family Feud because everybody had a gun. Some nights it was Wheel of Misfortune.
these are
'Cause every-
Jeselnik level pauses without the brilliant punchlines. It's like, Joe, is he ever going to get to it? I have so much time to think about what he's going to say next.
I'm just thinking about all those guns I remember on the Family Feud. What does that joke even mean?
Everybody had a gun. Not a lot of people know how to use them. But most nights it was like Jeopardy. Alex, I'll take 50 states of cray for $100, please.
What?
50 states of cray.
Like crazy?
Yeah.
Boy, can I hear that deafening silence again? I'd like to have that on my board in case I ever need it to be more silent than I'm capable of making it without talking.
It's negative sound. It's minus.
$100, please.
Go back a little bit. I want to hear that whole.
Oh, you want to hear the
punchline.
whole run up?
Yeah,
Okay.
sorry.
Okay. So no worries. It's quite the run up.
Not a lot of people know how to use them. But most nights it was like Jeopardy. Alex, I'll take 50 states of cray for $100, please. In this state.
Whoa! Whoa!
He gave him time. He gave him time.
That pause was kind of like, anyone? Like, you know what? That one's a thinker. Maybe it'll take you a few minutes of silence to get to it. And this has been, let's not forget, this has been a supportive crowd. I don't know if it's his family or friends or drunks or what it is, but like this has been a supportive crowd. And they didn't even, if they recognize a punchline, they're going to laugh.
Yes.
Like they've been supportive. They had no idea there was any joke there. He says 50 states of cray, and that is a silence like I've never heard before. You know, in like war movies when they do that thing where the audio fades out and you just hear that piercing noise.
Yes,
that's what I felt as that clip was playing. Like it was just like I was getting a Nam flashback of some kind.
You just got shot in Saving Private Ryan. Everything has gone black.
Yeah.
Just hear that noise.
A woman was arrested for standing on the side of the road naked, obstructing traffic. What is Florida, Alex? Ding, ding. Now, some people tried to help the lady.
Where did they all get up and leave? Where did they go?
Maybe they thought it turned into spoken word. Shh.
What the fuck happened to the crowd? There's not one. You don't even hear like a fork on a plate or ice in a glass.
No
There's
coughing, nothing. No human sound at all.
Oh
They
my
pulled
God. And by the way, not to nitpick, but how would a woman on the side of the road be obstructing traffic? Doesn't really make sense.
Good play.
over, tried to help her. And what happened was the lady mounted their car the windshield, and she began to hump on it, like Cameron Diaz from The Counselor. But the woman looked more like Nate Diaz after an MMA match.
Was The Counselor such a smash hit film that it's like a reference to everybody?
How would G.D. Fenderson's mom know who Nate Diaz is?
Right, yeah, right. But the Cameron Diaz and The Counselor.
I've never heard of that movie ever.
Obscure reference.
And we all know that she got up on the car in that movie. What are you talking about?
Sure, we all remember that scene.
You'd have to Google Nate Diaz to see what he looked like. And again, you'll realize how funny that fucking joke is and get the DVD. That's all I'm saying.
Well, it was really funny.
Did he know about the closed caption comedy? He said get the or is he talking about the movie? He's talking about the movie.
Yeah.
No. I think you're right. I think he's saying get the DVD because in 2016 DVDs were so prevalent. I think he meant to insert a picture of Nate Diaz in this.
And forgot.
Yeah.
Alex, I'll take 50 States of Crave for $200.
Oh, we're going back to the Jeopardy thing. That's good.
In this state, Sean Petrozzini is eluding police.
Boy, did Alec, the brain cancer really took over Trebek while he was reading this question. Jesus Christ.
Wait a second here. God damn.
Oh, my God.
He is a quadriplegic, and he's wanted for armed robbery.
This has Eric the actor sort of vibe to me, like as far as he talks, like just.
Hey,
you got that soundboard, man. I'm just saying.
And murder. What is Florida?
Okay, you know what?
They finally relented.
He trained them.
Yeah.
Because like I said, it's a supportive crowd. They realized, when he does the Florida thing this time, that's the punchline.
Daryl, that's where we clap.
Yeah, they're nudging each other. We're supposed to laugh when he does the Florida thing, because Florida is the only state where people commit crimes, I guess.
Now, Sean Petrozzini, like I said, he's a quadruple amputee.
There's no limbs?
And he's on the run from the police.
Nice. I bet that's not possible.
He did it.
Where are we going with this?
That's a joke.
And he's considered armed and dangerous.
Oh, tagging it.
That's the joke. That's it. I'm just going to keep rolling along.
Rolling along.
There's dashes.
Is this thing on? Joe List has a great thing he does where, like, if something he says doesn't get a laugh, he knocks the mic and goes, "Folks." And that's what he should have done. That is what that caption was, where he goes rolling along. Now, if you get it, whatever. But for the DVD viewers, he's knocking you in the head, going,
Yes.
"Hello, are you laughing?"
The peak of the show right here, guys. Come on.
Alex, I will take 50 States of Crave
At least he's sticking with the theme. I like it.
for $300.
Are we going to get to 1,000?
In this state,
Are we getting a daily double? What if we did this all the way to the final question?
People in the audience have to wager their points.
the owner of a pet store was arrested after beating his employees with a bearded lizard. What the fuck is wrong with Florida, Alex? Now, this is not the first time this man...
Why mention a bearded lizard? Why you do a setup and no punchline?
Because that was the punchline. That's Florida. The punchline was, "What the fuck is wrong with Florida, Alex?" I mean, right? Am I right, people? What is wrong with Florida? How wacky is that place?
Killer Floor 420 says, "What is Florida?" See, that is kind of funny.
Sure. That would be a perfect caption for this.
Yeah.
It is.
What is Flo Rida? Like, it doesn't make any sense, but it's like, I guess I get it.
Yeah.
Trouble with the police.
Ben Siegel.
I'm sorry?
Ben
I think you were
Siegel.
reading a name in the chat.
No,
that's the caption.
I thought Ben Siegel was writing to us.
Let's listen to this in context. So
we got to hear that again. We may have stepped on something hilarious.
What the fuck is wrong with Florida, Alex? Now, this is not the first time this man had been in trouble with the police.
Ben
Siegel.
Siegel.
Ben, B-E-N, like the name?
Yep.
Correct.
Ben Siegel, and Siegel like the bird.
No, Siegel as in the name Siegel. Siegel.
Like, wasn't Benny Siegel a gangster?
Who is that? Yeah.
I think that's a gangster. I know it from my early
Bugsy
90s.
Siegel.
Bugsy Siegel.
Bugsy Siegel.
Okay.
Oh, he calls him Ben.
They're close.
His proper
Okay.
name.
You know what? Let me hear it again now, knowing it's Bugsy Siegel, or Ben, as we all know him.
Family friend, Ben. Yeah.
What the fuck is wrong with Florida, Alex? Now, this is not the first time this man had been in trouble with the police.
I hate to do this. We always get to this point with GD. Go back even further. I got to hear the iguana thing again.
Oh, no.
I think it adds context. I'm sorry, but we have to do it. I need to know why Bugsy Siegel is involved in this.
Maybe because iguanas eat bugs?
Is Bugsy Siegel Ben Siegel? Are we thinking of the right guy? Look that up.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Okay. I don't know if this is where the iguana is. Let's
I'm just going to keep rolling along.
Was that the iguana joke? No, that was the rolling along. Okay, I think we're right.
Yeah.
Alex, I will take 50 sticks of cray for $300.
He is going to get
not to get too in the weeds here. A Jeopardy category would not be 50 states of cray. Like, Jeopardy's a little classier than that. They're not using slang. 50 states of cray. If it was the purpose of the category, but it wouldn't be like Florida people be cray.
I'll tell you what,
it's not a Jeopardy category.
Trebek wouldn't put up with that shit, but these new people,
Ken Jennings might. But this is before. I think Trebek is still alive for this.
Yes.
In this state, the owner of a pet store was arrested after beating his employees with a bearded lizard.
Okay.
Ben Siegel.
I guess that's something like a mafia guy would do. Maybe there's some story of Bugsy Siegel beating someone with some strange object. That's it. That's it. That's the joke. Whether or not it's
that's
funny.
What you needed. Okay.
Yes, that's what I need.
Point.
I've been satiated.
What the fuck is wrong with Florida, Alex? Now, this is not the first time this man had been in trouble with the police. Previously, he held a cockroach eating contest.
Hold on. I'm back to not getting it, actually. It seemed like kind of a mafia thing he was going for, but then he goes, this is not the first time the guy had been involved with the police, and then he goes, Ben Siegel. Like, the punchline is Ben Siegel. I'm back to not getting it.
I'm lost. We're putting this into the lost category. This is 12 feet down or whatever, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't quite get it. I think I was on to something with the mafia stuff, but now I'm a little... I'm back to being confused, but I'm willing to continue. Yeah, if Chad has anything, I'm willing to hear them out, but I'm also willing to keep going. Soldier on.
Been in trouble with the police. Previously, he held a cockroach eating contest where first prize was to win a python. The first prize winner, Mr. Archibald, choked on the cockroaches and died.
I've never heard someone do that in a comedy special. I got to give him credit. This is unprecedented. I've never heard someone go, Mr. Archibald, well, whatever. He died. Like, I'm just going to give up on thinking of his last name.
pretty sad.
I've never heard someone in a comedy special try and think of something, forget it, not address that he forgot it, and just keep plowing through.
And also, if he would have remembered it, it would have had nothing to do with anything.
Of
So
course,
it doesn't matter.
Of course, yeah.
Some kind of irony, you choke to death trying to win a prey that chokes its prey to death. But at what point do you decide that you're going to beat your employees with a lizard? I mean, do you start off with salamanders?
What are we talking about? What are we talking? Are we talking about the crime you made up?
Yes.
What the fuck? This was some fake Jeopardy category that he had about Florida be cray. And then he's like, and by the way, folks, I mean, how do you get to the point where you're beating employees with lizards? I don't know, GD. You came up with it. Why don't you tell us?
Work your way up to box turtles, boa constrictor, and at some point you're whacking them with your anaconda.
One guy like
just to let you know.
One guy goes, anaconda. That means cock.
It means dick.
Anaconda don't want none.
Well, that.
Now, I said I was fucked up. That I'm the least fucked up of the kids.
What
but
kids?
I'm still fucked up.
What kids? We're talking about your siblings again?
The one that are getting beaten with the monitor lizard, right?
You don't get to go on this tangent about Florida be cray, and we're playing Jeopardy and Wheel of Fortune, whatever the fuck he has us playing, and then just go, and so of the 4 kids, I'm the most fucked up, I guess. And you're like, what? Wait, what? Which 4 kids? We moved on.
It's like starting a movie in the middle of it. Like what?
Well, you know, like I was saying.
I'm the least fucked up of the kids. But I'm still fucked up. After my oldest sister and my middle brother passed away, I went to my last surviving sibling. And I put my arm around him. And I said, you know, I always wanted to be an only child.
What the fuck? So he wants him to die?
I guess, yeah. I guess he's gonna.
That's the joke. Hey, 2 of my siblings died, and I was like, good. Hope,
I was like,
hope the last one dies.
I hope, yeah, you need to collect all 3.
And he said to me,
an only child. I'm in my 50s. I always wanted my brothers and sisters to die.
Dark, real dark.
Fun
Me
stuff.
too, bro. Me too. That was selfish of him. My sister had just died, and he couldn't let me have the last word just once.
What?
He's
It
selfish.
wasn't an argument. Have the last word. They weren't arguing. The joke is the other brother was like, yeah, me too. So he wants GD to die.
Yeah. Well, let's ask them. They're in the crowd. Guys, what did he mean?
And GD's like, that was selfish of him. He couldn't let me have the last word. He hasn't set up that him and this brother always get into arguments.
No.
There's nothing like that. It's something that made no sense, and he managed to have it make less sense by the end of it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I was fucked up, but like I said, all parents fuck up their kids. They're not doing it on purpose. Yeah. They mean well. Or they mean well.
Oh, that's the name of this special. Mom and Dad meant ... well.
Oh, good. An hour and 40-something minutes in, we're getting... oh, that's why he named it that.
Yeah.
My parents meant comma, well. So I don't know why there's a comma there.
I think that's the title of it, yeah.
That is the title.
Meant.
Oh, so the title of my parents meant...
Well.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
Not as good as a Tom Myers title, but it's up there.
I mean, but it starts off really simple with innocent little lies like
Can I just say, you hear the laugh that got?
Mm-hmm.
That is title worthy.
It is.
When
Guys,
you
we
hear
got the title.
when
Hear
you
that,
hear the
lady?
when you hear the reaction that got, it's like, and there's the title. That's what that's the bit everyone will be walking away talking about.
Why did he pick that one?
It's actually a very confusing title. That's why I've never remembered the title, because it's my parents meant, well, like you have to say it weird.
Mm-hmm.
My parents meant, well.
That is a Tom Myers title. It is.
That's how you would title the. It's nowhere near as great as a Tom Myers title.
The rest of America. What is that? We're all America.
And can we talk about his transition too, going from talking about the guy that died from eating bugs to his parents dying and talking about himself and his own
His
life?
siblings dying.
Oh, his siblings. Sorry.
Being glad his siblings are
Yes,
dead.
yes.
Because he wanted to be an only child.
the Easter Bunny is going to bring you chocolate candy and colored eggs. African American eggs.
Ah, that's good stuff.
That's a callback.
I remember.
Or Santa can't come until you fall asleep. And it doesn't make sense until you find out that Santa's your dad and he can't come while you're awake.
What the fuck?
Whoa.
Was GD molested in his sleep by his father?
He was looking up when he said this, like he was looking up at Daddy. I didn't like it.
What the fuck? We all know Dad can't come until we fall asleep.
Oh. And then he can't come when he's awake? What?
That old chestnut.
Or you know, son, it's not going to stay that size. It does get bigger.
What? Was he molested?
I'm still laughing at you said chestnut.
Go back. Are we missing something? Is he talking about his father molesting him?
And it doesn't make sense until you find out that Santa's your dad and he can't come while you're awake.
Santa's your dad. He can't come while you're awake.
I get it. I mean, I think I get
that
it.
part. I get that part. It's the second part I don't get.
Or
I think I do, unfortunately.
You know, son, it's not going to stay that size. It does get bigger. But if it doesn't, you want to see Dad's gun collection? It's really huge.
Okay.
I apologize for that last one.
Okay, I get that joke. I get that.
But why is he talking to his dad about his cock size?
I thought it was Santa. I thought he was talking about Santa.
Well, his dad is Santa. He knows that, Casey. He's a big boy, although apparently not that big.
So Santa's looking at his cock and saying it's going to get bigger. That's what we got going on right now.
How did we? Yes, right. Like the cum thing. I think what he's trying. Okay. What I believed before the second part of that joke was it's phrased oddly to make us think he's talking about the kid being molested. But I think what he means is like, Dad has to wait till the kids fall asleep till he can fuck mom. I think that's what he was trying to say. Until it devolves into a conversation between father and son about the size of their cocks. And the dad is saying, don't worry, son, it'll get bigger. Which kind of suggests he's trying to get him hard.
I don't like that.
Like, am I crazy for like that's what it seems like he's saying, right?
Let's look to chat. Let's talk to chat about it.
I think they're gonna think even worse than me. But
Deuce Rex says because black fathers aren't around.
Okay, I don't think that's correct.
And yep, Dad is Santa, only comes around at night.
To fuck the children.
Or just to look at their cocks and make sure they're grown.
Make sure that they're of proper size.
We knew that Santa delivers gifts and checks cock size. Those are the two.
I don't know why cock size is coming up, but I don't think we're going to figure that out. So.
It's coming up.
I was trying to compensate for an underdeveloped punchline.
A little penis joke. You were right. It was about his penis.
Yeah, Mike, you went on that.
Well, that was clear. That was. That was very clear to me, and that's what was unfortunate. But
As clear as Santa checking out my package.
let's get to. I'd like
My
to go watch.
package.
I'd like
Santa's
to go
package.
watch. I'd like to go watch some football. Let's get to a natural stopping point here.
So, but like I said, parents fuck up their kids. It's not on purpose. You know, but in normal households and happy households, the kids are hearing stories like the ugly duckling, frog prince. I heard stories about the dad who should have pulled out.
What the fuck?
Oh, dear.
Or the mom who should have swallowed.
Good Lord.
Hashtag regrets.
Now again, if I can defend GD here, the joke is like the dad should have pulled out so he wouldn't have had any kids, or the mom should have swallowed so they wouldn't have had any kids.
Yeah.
But he places that right after he, as a boy, is having a conversation with his father about the size of their cocks.
He grouped them together by like-minded objects.
I don't get it.
And basically insinuating that they're small because he's like, let me show you my guns.
Right.
So, and it's surprising that his sense of humor is not more better since he grew up in that environment, I guess. I don't know.
So much dad's penis in this episode.
That's true. Yeah, victims of molestation usually are. Just listen to the last segment we did.
You know, but the reason I wasn't so fucked up, or as fucked up, is because in order for parents to successfully lie to their kids, they have to agree upon the lies. If you're telling your kids two different lies, they're going to know something up. So you have to tell them the same lie in order to fuck them up.
Okay, I have a feeling he's about to go off on a tangent here.
It says, check out, people, we did it.
Let's go back for next time, if you can make note of this.
Yes.
Go back to the cock stuff, and we'll start there. All right?
I don't even got to tell Craig. Craig will do that naturally. He'll start with the dad cock stuff naturally.
He'll sense it. Okay.
He will sense the dad.
It's as much GD as I can stomach for one day.
I gotta say, we might have hit on some actual humor in there, like broken clock kind of thing. It's kind of funny. He's talking about this shit.
Is dad molesting him? That's good stuff.
It is. If you're not funny, talk what you know. Talk about what
yes. Yeah, it's good stuff.
We
All right.
have a few super chats here to get you out. Boom.
Principled uncertainty, 8 specials. We have to upload ourselves to the crowd if we are ever going to get through this.
Mm-hmm.
I suppose.
If we get through one, it would be a miracle.
I don't see a second one.
We're getting close. No, not for a while. But
no. And then finally, here.
Colostomy Stephen Cunt. Like that.
Hey, she said it.
Uncle Craig Hargis.
That's good. I like that. All right, gang. Well, thank you. Thank you for all the super chats and memberships, and just thank you for watching and commenting and liking and subscribing. Basically, thank you for the support of this program. We appreciate that. And the easiest way to do that is by going to blindmike.net. That's where all our links are. You can become a member for as little as $5 a month. And if you are a member, then months ago, you saw our Why Are You Laughing episode about Sam Hyde versus Tim Heidecker and the feud that got World Peace canceled by Adult Swim. If you're interested in that, though, and you're not a member, then it comes out tomorrow. Tomorrow night, Monday night, 8 p.m. on YouTube. It'll be up a few hours after that on all podcast platforms, assuming Craig has done that, which I hope he has. So let me know if it's not up early in the morning. But it should be everywhere you get podcasts. BlindMike.net is where you find all those links for Why Are You Laughing, Who Are These Socials, and this program, Blind Mike Project, which is live every Sunday at 10 a.m. Like I said, if you want early access and bonus content, then become a member. We just did a bonus Why Are You Laughing about Opie and Anthony's voyeur bus scandal, and more bonus episodes to come. So check those out as a member. We appreciate you guys. Go to HackRideStudios.com. Check out DJ Electra Fry and HackRide. Catch 22 and Unboxing Eric and all those shows are at new times now. So look out for those, right?
We got football, Mike. That's why we moved him. And we got football. That's why we got to get out of here. Love football.
Yeah, I'm going to watch Red Zone like a fucking sheep. Like one of those cowards that criticize Woody Allen, as Bill Marsh said. That's what I am for Red Zone.
Better be just 1 minute of commercials. Better not have been lying to us.
Well, we'll see. We'll be monitoring very closely. And go Drake May. The future is here, baby. Mike Vrabel. We'll see you later.
Christian Gonzalez.
That's right.
And we have a meme transition.
Say it's Boogie. Steppers through the way, everyone up.
Now, this is very interesting. Now, really, ladies, if you're listening, and men, and everybody in between.
If I tell you you've got a homicide, buddy, you've got a homicide.
I hope to hear from you soon.
I am proud to own the Trumpy Bear, and I will always be proud to be an American.
Put it in the outro. Until then, have yourself a great day, and as always,
there's no cum on my mic.
Rock on.
Stop the baloney, huh? What kind of statement is that?
I wrote it. One of my favorite players to cover when he was here was Mike Vrabel. Tell me Mike Vrabel's story.
Whatever, dude. I keep it cool at the gym.
Piss on it.
Fuck you, Mike. Fuck you, Mike. Fuck you, Mike.
All right. Stop, my belly hurts.
My dad was in the military.
Was that, sir?
Can you please kindly F off, please? If a person is on a bridge threatening to jump, how do we know that he wants help?
Okay, I hope nothing bad happened.
Money, 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 money. Fuck, please.
Anyway, God bless America.
Put it in the outro.